Competition at the Tokyo Olympics.
Biles stuck the landing and won a bronze medal. The American gymnastics superstar delivered during the women's balance beam final. Biles drilled a slightly altered routine in front of a crowd that included IOC President Thomas Bach a week after taking herself out of several competitions to focus on her mental health. Biles earned her 7th career Olympic medal while dealing with a mental block surrounding twisting. She scored a 14.0. China took first and second place. I'm Julie Walker.
Some Republican candidates can look forward to a big cash infusion courtesy of former President Trump. Through his PAC, he has amassed $102 million in cash to help GOP congressional candidates. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something right before the show started.
Oh, yeah?
It's a funny meme on Facebook, but it's kind of nightmare fuel.
Okay.
It's not exactly new. It's a dated reference.
Sure.
But it's a Photoshop picture. And there's one caption. New kids on the Spock. And it's all of the new kids with Spock faces. Leonard Nimoy faces. And it's well done. It just is horrifying.
There's a certain uncanny valley. Yeah.
And I'm transfixed on this picture.
There's whole websites, whole subreddits devoted to pictures of photoshopped like movie posters, music video, like CD album covers that have like Nicolas Cage superimposed as like whoever, Britney Spears, every member of NSYNC, and so I'm sure it's along those lines.
Yeah, actually, one of the Spock new kids kind of looks like a Ross Geller. Like
that's actually one they did. Somebody did I think it was the Friends with every one of the Friends being Nicolas Cage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And trust me, the Courtney Cox is rather disturbing.
I was thinking Phoebe Nicolas Cage would be very
Phoebe
weird.
Nicolas Cage actually kind of works.
Does it?
Weirdly works. It's odd.
I think both people share a common thought vein in somewhere in there. They both got that.
Yeah.
The character Phoebe, of course. But anyway, yeah, that Spock thing was a little unnerving.
Dude, we're getting into that
7 o'clock in the morning.
We're getting into that weird era where like deep fakes are getting so good that eventually we're going to start seeing some weird like uncanny valley stuff that's going to fuel. I'm confident that the nightmares of the future are going to be fueled by some amazing technology is basically what I'm trying to say. I feel like these deep fakes are going to like embed their way into my head and have their way with me. They're terrifying, some of these ones, some of these deep fakes I see.
Well,
they're just too good.
Well, what the future will happen in one of two. First, we'll go iRobot, and then Idiocracy. So I don't know which the order is going to come in, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like the singularity is probably going to happen before Brondo. Even though it does have what plants crave.
We're there. I'm telling you. What? Oh, I know. It was yesterday. I was watching the news,
right?
And the reporter, I don't even remember the story or what it was about, but she was on location somewhere, and they're doing the story, and then she comes back from the story and she goes, "All right, y'all, here's what," and starts talking. I was like,
She said, "All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Here's what we're talking about."
No, unless it was a fluff piece, because then I can understand.
No, it was not. It was like a serious.
All right, y'all. 2 dead in California.
Yeah, it was like a murder trial thing.
Jiminy Christmas.
So all I could do when I heard that was like, Fox News. I was like, it's coming, y'all.
Extreme. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I saw it last night on the news. I don't remember the but all right, y'all. I was like, what? You're a news reporter. What's going on here? Did you
ever see, this is going to be hyper specific. There's an episode of Futurama called The Day the Earth Stood Stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, these giant brains come down to Earth and they like sap all of the knowledge from everybody in the world, except for Fry, because he's got this weird irregularity. Anyways, the point is the newscast is basically just exactly like you described.
Yeah.
It's like, some stuff happened today. Over to you now. Yeah. We're getting there.
Yep. Idiocracy's coming.
Stay tuned.
I'm telling you.
Ooh, Stay Tuned is another good one.
It was. We've referenced that movie.
We have
more times than any show should ever.
Exactly. More than the show itself has ever been even referenced or advertised. So yeah.
The thing's got a lot of run.
I think we have an award coming for the most behind the movie Stay Tuned than anyone else on the planet.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Trying to keep the memory of John Ritter alive. So.
Man, that's such a good bad movie. But anyway, let me give you the rundown. We have actual substance
stuff
to discuss here today.
Right.
This hour, 7 o'clock hour in just a few minutes, Robert Sherman will join us from the Walker Aviation Museum. He pops in once a month and gives us an update on what's happening there and talks a little history with us about aircraft and military and stuff of the area during the time period. So we're going to chit-chat with Robert in just a bit. Keep your museum hat on, because in the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, Amy McVeigh-Tejas is going to join us from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. We're going to be talking about their fall fundraiser. We're going to be talking about blood drives, book fairs, and all kinds of stuff. And fleece you for money. That's what the other thing we're doing.
That's right. Right back there, everybody. Right back there.
Exactly. So
it's actually a whole corner of fundraising. I didn't realize that.
That's right.
Got the quilt, got the giant mic.
That's right. We call it the fun corner.
You should sign the hat. We should give that away too.
I will.
Ooh.
If someone's willing to pay for it.
Hey, silent auction.
Yeah.
Silent but deadly auction.
Welcome to my fund corner. It's full of fun.
You ever wanted your man cave to have a certain air of weirdness? Have I got a deal for you?
I sprinkle a little Bob Ross too.
There you go.
For season. But let me give you the rundown here. I'll say we got Amy next hour, or an 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to replay our interview we had last Thursday with Kemp McInnes. Talking all about old Lincoln days. That is this weekend.
That's right.
In the village of Lincoln. And
the 80th anniversary of the last escape of Billy the Kid.
And I'm about to do the weather, but the weather for this weekend in Roswell's 97. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Trip to Lincoln's in order.
Good weekend to get up to the mountains.
That's all I'm saying. It's a good weekend to go to be Lincoln and up. Lincoln and up.
Lincoln and up. Hey, you want to Lincoln up?
Lincoln and up. Yeah.
That's right.
I'd say go for
Road trip.
Yeah. All right. It is 7:13. Let's get you up to date on that weather. By the way, our rain chances have diminished this next couple days. We got 20.
A good chance today, I heard. But.
Well, actually, what they're saying is maybe tonight. It's really... There's good chances of rain, just not here, like southeast New Mexico.
Gotcha.
The rest of the state got a great chance. But us, it's diminished a bit. But I'll let the meteorologist tell you. Here's the weather.
Stay dry, Roswell.
Yeah.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. Should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 81%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. They're just saying partly cloudy with a high of 87 today. Winds floating around in the south about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 65. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, 20% chance of rain tomorrow, mostly cloudy. High of around 85 with southeast winds at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for tomorrow night as well. Mostly cloudy overnight, low of 66, east winds 5 miles per hour. And then that's all they're talking about for rain for us for a bit. Thursday, mostly sunny, highs back into the 90s, right at 90, with winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, highs back into the mid-90s, 95 for a high there. And then for the weekend, Saturday, sunny, high of 98. One little reminder that, we're not quite we still live in southeast New Mexico. So, yeah, Saturday, sunny, hot, high of 98. Sunday, mostly sunny, hot, high of 98. And then Monday, next week, mostly sunny, hot, high of 97. So enjoy those 80s this next couple days because this weekend it's ticking back up on the thermostat there. All right, it is 9:15. Before we take a quick break, I would invite you out to the I'd like to invite you out to the 85th annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo that's happening right now through August 7th. Celebrating traditions we treasure. There's something for everyone waiting for you at this year's fair. Let's see. Don't miss the Lee County team roping on Saturday. Then the swine show's happening today with Extreme Bulls and a concert featuring Mike Ryan tonight. Admission is $10. Adults $5, and kids 5 and under are free. Free admission for Sunday through Monday as well. It's the Lee County Fair going on through August 7th at the fairgrounds in Lovington, New Mexico. All right, it is 7:16. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute break. First, your livestock report with Smiley Wooten. We'll do a quick wrap-up recap on that. Quick break. And then Robert Sherman will join us here in just a few from the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 587 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, all classes of cattle sold steady. 3 to 400 pound steers, 216, 232. 3 to 400 pound heifers, 175, 177. 4 to 500 pound steers, 176, 216. 4 to 500 pound heifers, 158, 177. 5 to 600 pound steers, 165, 176. 5 to 600 pound heifers, 149, 158. 6 700 pound steers, 151, 165. 6 to 700 pound heifers, 133, 149. 7 800 pound steers, 142, 151. 7 800 pound heifers, 125, 133. Packer cow 70 to 78 and a half. Canner and cutter cows 64 to 69. Packer bulls 99.50 to 101.50. Feeder bulls 73 to 85. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,210 to $1,700 per pair. Top half the bred cows $900 to $1,200 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait, working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today in Roswell, 623-5344, or anywhere in southeast New Mexico at 877-623-5344.
The party returns. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021, Saturday, August 28th. An all-day festival celebrating heritage, tradition, and a whole lot of fun. There's games, live music, sidewalk sales from area merchants, a cornhole tournament, food and craft vendors, and the return of New Mexico Brew Fest, featuring New Mexico brews, beer, cider, and wine. Admission to Brewfest is just $10. Admission to everything else is free. Get more info at reddirtblackgold.com. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021, Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. Boots are optional, but encouraged. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Get a jump on getting your kids ready for back to school. Because we know how busy returning to school can be, Loveless Healthcare Center is offering sports physicals now and throughout the summer for just $30. And same day, next day, and walk-in appointments are available. Visit us at 1112 North Main Street here in Roswell, or call 575-625-3222 to schedule your appointment today.
Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. We are the voices of insanity in the midst of COVID insanity. We'll get you started with your week and get you rolling on making normal again.
Plus, we've got the border still a total mess, the Biden administration a disaster, the budget still coursing its way through in Congress. We'll break it all down for you and more coming up on the next Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
How is life treating you, sir?
Other than the Walker Museum being closed still, but
yeah,
we're still waiting for some final repair from the flooding we had on the 29th of May.
Yeah, it's kind of still the
results. It's kind of like the COVID beat us up.
Yeah.
And then when the COVID was over, okay, we're ready to open, and boom, the flood hit.
Too bad you're not the Walker Submarine Museum, because then we get.
Yeah, what are we going to say?
Just kidding. But
the Walker Submarine.
Not a lot of Navy stuff around here in New Mexico, but
true.
But yeah, you guys have really pardon the pun, but it rains it pours on this situation, and that's kind of literally what it did this time.
It's kind of tough. We've got a lot of things in the fire that we need to talk about today, and so we're going to be once we get access and we start going, we're going to be drinking from a fire hose. All
right.
So we got some stuff going on.
Good. So it's hurry up and wait, just like the real military.
Yeah, and later on this morning, in just a few minutes, we'll talk a little bit about the developmental history of the B-52 bomber.
All right.
That was stationed at Walker during the late 1950s and 60s until closure.
Still aircraft used in the active military today. Yeah.
Yep. Right.
And a very important role in the active military.
Yep. And I'll talk about that next month as far as kind of what the operational history has been and kind of what the future and some of the wild modifications they're putting into that aircraft. I forgot reading that and going, whoa, this is...
Yeah.
Even though it was built back in the 50s and early 60s,
it's an aircraft that's flying today that has capabilities that were never thought of probably when it was designed back in the 50s.
Absolutely.
You know, that's kind of a neat thing to wrap your head around when you think about it sometimes. Yeah.
So, speaking about that, back in July, I briefed on the history of the B-47 and then in June, the developmental history of B-47. And in May, we talked about the development and operational history of the B-36.
Mm-hmm.
And next month, I'll be talking about, again, like you just mentioned, operational history and some amazing updates and modifications to the current B-52, which is going to be flying until 2050. I'll be dead by then.
Yeah. Wow, that aircraft's going to outlive most of us.
That's true.
Wow, that's impressive that they... I remember when I was in the Air Force in the 90s, and I was thinking, how many years this thing's got left? And, well,
I know.
It's a long time, apparently.
It's going to be over 100 years.
Oh, wow.
About 100 years.
Yeah. That's good.
That's kind of wild. when you think about it. Anyway.
Yeah, because what in military history, what piece of equipment have we had?
Yeah.
That's been the same piece of equipment for 100 years in the military.
With just some modifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from like a shovel or something,
or
you know what I mean?
Maybe a handgun or a revolver or something.
Yeah, something that's of that complexity. That's pretty impressive. So.
Well, last month we lost the guidance and direct support of Brigadier General Doug Murray.
That was a shot in the arm.
That was kind of tough, and he left and went back and retired back in Colorado Springs. But he's going to be coming back and forth, working with the Institute for a few things for off and on. So he'll come in and visit us.
You're going to pop in from time to time and check in.
Yeah.
Good.
So anyway, I think the primary concern now is for us to reopen at the old location out at the air terminal as you come in the front door on the right.
Sure.
After repairs are completed, and just as important, and this is really something, we're looking for some new members to join our foundation to continue the development of the historical portion of the Walker Museum and start the STEM features, science, technology, engineering, math of the museum later this fall.
Okay. So looking for some...
So we've got the $10,000 just deposited by XL Energy. Thank you very much, from a grant.
Awesome.
And
some fundings
that's
there.
Going to fund 2 flight simulators and a STEM touchscreen computer that will help educate our local visiting youth on as far as the local STEM jobs, local STEM, science, technology, engineering, math job opportunities in this region of the state.
Excellent. Yeah, that's for folks that don't know that's the whole mission statement of the Walker Aviation Museum. It's one is to preserve the history of the Air Force Base and the Cold War era and the role that this region served during that time period.
Now that you say that,
and also the STEM, the education side too.
The actual mission statement is you got it, man. You got it down. Right?
Did I nail it?
If I keep coming here, you know. To educate and inspire all generations concerning the history and legacy of Walker Air Force Base and encourage our youth to explore careers in science, technology, engineering, and math.
Absolutely.
Now, on that history, a lot of people don't realize that, we had 12, 13, 14 squadrons of, aircraft, bombardier training squadrons. During World War II, we trained 14,000 students either flying, twin engine or multiple engine aircraft or bombardiers. So
it's amazing.
A lot of stuff is going on here at Walker.
A lot of World War II bombardiers and pilots spent some time in Roswell, New Mexico before serving in European and Pacific theaters there. So it's amazing. I wonder, do they have those kind of numbers out there? Like the ones that trained, but how many went off to the Pacific Theater and went off to the...
that would be a good thing to research and find out. Those that came through the 14,000, where did they go?
Yeah, where'd they end up next?
Did they end up flying,
combat
in
missions?
Europe or in the South Pacific or what? Or, over Japan, out of Saipan or whatever? Yeah.
I don't know. I think if I was a young man during
they had a B-29 squadron later on training.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, Enola Gay and Boxcar both have set wheel here in Roswell, New Mexico at some point. I'm just trying to think about that. I was like, if I was like the guy, and I was serving in that time and someone said, what's your pick? I'm trying to think where would you rather go, the Pacific or Europe? And I'm leaning Europe right now, I'm thinking, because I'm like, at least odds are I'm going to land. Like if you get shot down in the Pacific, there's not a lot of chance of being a POW because you're going down in the ocean.
Yeah.
But Europe, at least you have a chance of being a POW at a camp somewhere if you get shot down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was.
I'm trying to weigh in my head which one would be.
And a lot of people don't understand how terrible it was for the airmen flying, say, out of England.
Yeah.
And there were more airmen died, getting shot down from B-17s and stuff than Marines died in the South Pacific. And you hear about that in, all those invasions of different islands and stuff and how terrible it was. But then you picture these big formations when you had 10, 15, 20, 25 aircraft shot down, each one carrying, 12 air crew. It was crazy, number of people that were killed. And sometimes they were not killed, and they were captured and and stuff, but sometimes they weren't.
Well, just the amount of flack and everything that that they're sending up, and just the aerial defenses in Europe and things. I mean, put it this way: to fly a full tour in a B-17 wasn't exactly a high success rate.
Low. That's why they try to keep you around to 25, and some flew more than that.
Yeah, your longevity rate was very low on some of those. So,
by the way, we just kind of got an idea. We're gonna at the museum. We had a 10 by 10 foot storage room, and we're gonna turn that into like a Atlas silo type thing. And we're going to put some display of all the Atlas stuff inside this storage room, and kind of the control panel in there, and try to make it kind of the Atlas room. So that gives us more space because we can move that out and then put the flight simulators where that was before. And we took all that stuff that was in that storage room and moved it down to the new storage site. It's an indoor storage site there at the U-Haul, near the old Kmart location.
Okay.
So that's climate control, really nice setup. So we're going
to a good place to
put
keep
the
stuff.
uniforms and stuff back in there.
Okay.
So, and even if you have a bad rainstorm, it's not going to be a chance of flooding in there, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway.
Good deal. Well, it's good to see. I mean, obviously, a lot of setbacks there with weather and COVID and everything else. But good news is you guys are still moving forward. But one big note we want to take out of it, folks, if you're wanting to get involved, if you love history, if you love science, STEM, and would like to be a part of the Walker Aviation Museum as a volunteer serving on the board, any of these capacities, they are looking for more great people. Like Robert said, you've had some folks retire here and are moving out of the area, so some of your leadership and some of the folks you've been relying on for many years are no longer a part here.
Bob Pottle passed away.
Yeah.
Steve Wolf used to be here. Great guy, good friend of mine, about one of my best friends, and he was in Amarillo, and he passed away from COVID, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he just passed away 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, his wife survived COVID, but he didn't. But anyway, we're currently working with Alan Trevor out at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. He's kind of getting the final stages of the couple touchscreen computers he's going to put in there to help people walking in, waiting for an airplane. They can just walk in and touch one or two of these two touchscreen computers and get a quick history, 2-minute summary of what subject they like, whatever they touched on.
Cool.
So he's going to do that, and then I'm going to work with him on developing a third touchscreen computer that's going to address some STEM items.
Okay.
STEM education and kind of what careers are possible in southeastern New Mexico. So anyway, thanks to them, Excel and stuff, we're going to get those flight simulators.
Good deal. That's great to.
Probably going to need somebody like my grandson to get out here and figure out how to operate these.
Yeah, we need some tech
flight
kids.
Simulators. Yeah,
kids that know how to.
But there's several people in town here out there that have flight simulators, and
I imagine some folks at the college. Yeah, they got a pretty good one out there.
We got plenty. I think some people here that can help us out.
Theirs is. Have you ever seen their flight simulator out at the college? It's pretty cool. I got to see it, and they can simulate all kind of aircraft, from big heavies to little Cessnas and everything in between.
I probably won't be that fancy, but it's going to be a pretty decent one, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I imagine yours would be more for military style.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, cool. Well, that'll be a fun thing, I think.
So part of our task based on this grant is we're going to try to get at least about 850 youth through there.
Okay.
To go, work with a simulator and get a little STEM briefing.
Yeah.
And we're going to be coordinating with, obviously the Roswell Independent School District, Catholic school here in town, Gateway, homeschoolers. I've talked to the Assurance Home, kind of special for them, come out. And so got homeschoolers sitting there at home, we can coordinate and get that set up so we can maybe get a bunch of them to come out.
Cool. Good.
Get that done. And
awesome.
And I've even talked to Ragsdale, talking about if we get that Pegasus Flavors open back in there, he can maybe provide a little $5 sack lunch or something.
Okay. Make like a full-on field trip kind of thing.
Yeah, go there and while some of them are flying their aircraft. Some can be eating their little sack lunch or getting a STEM briefing or something.
Yeah, or checking out the.
So anyway, we got to still finally coordinate that with the schools. And
okay.
So.
But big plans on the horizon.
But we're here to help.
That's
we
good.
want here to.
Well, that's
make a difference.
Yeah, you want to educate and expose all these opportunities to our youth here and getting them, hopefully, a few of them light the fire to pursue careers in STEM and those type of things.
Yeah, and check out our website. We'll say that again later, but wafbmuseum.org.
Yeah, if you'd like to donate, there's a link there to do that. Of course, learn all about the museum, and of course, if you'd like to volunteer, be a part of it, there's links that you'll find through the website that you can
go
get in
Amazon
touch.
Smile when you buy something from Amazon.
Yeah, that's a great way. The Amazon Smile, go through that link, and every time you shop Amazon,
we get a few pennies and nickels and dimes.
It adds up if you get enough
adds up.
people doing it.
Right.
So go through that link too there. Awesome. But always you can help. Again, wafbmuseum.org is the website.
And check out our membership area there so you can, if you want to join, become a member.
Yeah.
Pay that, and that'll help us out financially. Normally we have a golf, but we're not going to have one, I guess, until probably May of 2022.
Okay. That'd be...
And but as far as finances, Roswell Toyota it was been a while, but Roswell Toyota was a big supporter, and XL Energy, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, and then a few other folks like Dennis, Phil Cathy, and Paul Engstrom, IDOC, and Lloyd Hughes. And AirSail's been a big supporter in the past, and we got reading in the paper all these new companies coming in. So
maybe you can, come see our museum.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah, well, good deal.
You want me to run through this quick B-52?
Let's talk some buff. Yeah.
Okay, this is just kind of the introduction to the B-52. Okay, background is B-52 is a heavy bomber, max speed about 650 miles an hour. Combat range 8,800 miles. Of course, it's air refuel, so it can go beyond that, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Service ceiling about 50,000 feet and 159 foot long, 185 foot wingspan. Bomb load 70,000 pounds.
It's a big airplane.
Introduced into the Air Force in February 1955. 742 were built between 1952 and 63. Manufactured by Boeing. Still in service and expected to remain in service, like I mentioned earlier, till 2050. Commonly called the Buff.
Yes.
Big, ugly, fat fella. Sometimes the last word is
Not
a different word used for that.
Yeah, when I first learned it, it wasn't fella.
No, I didn't either. But
I know what you're talking about.
Everybody calls it the Buff. Nobody calls it the Straddle Fortress.
Yeah, we've always called it the Buff. My whole time I was
big,
in the Air
ugly,
Force.
fat fella.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep it there. November 1945, Air Materiel Command issued a desired performance characteristic of a new strategic bomber. And in March 1946, a lot of this was kind of going simultaneously with the B-47 development, but issued bid invitations to Boeing, Consolidated Aircraft, and Glenn L. Martin Company. Okay?
Okay.
But because of at that time, the high fuel consumption of the current jet engines during the middle 40s, the initial design of the XB-52 started out with straight wings, kind of like the B-29, with turboprop engines rather than the swept wing.
Okay.
So in November 1946, the Deputy Chief of Air Staff for Research and Development was no other than General Curtis LeMay.
Ah.
And he was responsible for a lot of the final design of the future B-52. We'll talk about it in just a second. The design and prototypes were not meeting expectations, so the outright cancellation of the Boeing contract on 11 December 1947 was stopped by a plea from Boeing's president, William McPherson Allen, to the Secretary of the Air Force, Stuart Symington. So it was almost real close.
It almost never happened.
So in January 1948, Boeing was instructed to thoroughly explore recent technological innovations in designing of the aircraft. Now, this is kind of what's interesting. You just picture this. There was a meeting that was held at the Hotel Van Cleve in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
And this occurred on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of 21 through 25 October 1948. Okay. So World War II's been over about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On Thursday, 3 Boeing engineers, George Schreier, Art Carlson, and Von Blumenthal, presented a design of the straight wing 4-engine turboprop bomber to the Air Force Chief of Bomber Development, and his name was Colonel Pete Worden. He did not like the design. He said, hey, go back to your room in the hotel there and come up with a 4-engine turbojet bomber by the next morning, by tomorrow. So the 3 engineers went back to their room, and they were joined by Boeing's Vice President of Engineering, Ed Wells. The next morning on Friday, the team presented an update jet version of the B-52. All right? Colonel Worden looked at that, and after getting all the briefing and stuff, he said, I do not accept this design. He didn't like it. So he told Boeing to come up with a better design, see you on Monday. So, okay. So the Boeing team went back to their hotel room, and they were joined by 2 other top Boeing engineers, Bob Withington and Maynard Pennell, who just happened to be in town in Dayton, Ohio, on other business. Working Friday night, probably all night, Saturday and Sunday, they came up and presented an aircraft with 4 pods hanging off the wing, holding a total of 8 jet engines, like we have today. 35-degree swept wings, similar to the B-47, with bicycle landing gear that could turn 20 degrees on either direction to help with crosswind landings, and with a wingtip outrigger wheels. And they hired a stenographer to type up a clean copy of the proposal, and one of the guys went to the hobby shop and put together a model of the airplane. So on Monday morning, the Boeing team presented a neatly bound 33-page proposal with a 14-inch model totally painted and ready to go, showing the B-52, which at that time was designated the 464-49, because they've been going through a whole bunch of these series. So this was like the 49th,
So a bunch of guys over the weekend knocked out the design for the B-52.
Got it typed up, got a model airplane made, put together a 33-page proposal. Anyway, they got the green light to proceed. So that's the start of the B-52, done overnight, probably with tons of coffee and a bunch of engineers sticking around in a motel room.
Interesting. And if you would have asked those individuals today, if they would have thought their aircraft that they designed is now scheduled to be in service till 2050, would they?
That's unbelievable.
That is crazy. That's just amazing, man. It's just a couple guys, a lot of pizza and coffee consumed in a couple days there.
So 6 months later, in April 49, they presented a full mock-up of the B-52 and proceeded with the design. Curtis LeMay made several direct interventions that moved the production forward and then kept it in the hands of Boeing. He insisted, by the way, the initial design had the pilot and co-pilot sitting, one behind the other, just like the B-47.
Gotcha.
And he said, let's don't go with that tandem seating. Let's do it side-by-side because it could enhance crew coordination and efficiency.
Sure.
So today, you do have the side-by-side.
Easier to communicate when it's
just like you do with airliners.
Yeah.
So Boeing was awarded a contract to build 13 B-52A models on 14 February 1951 and ended up building only 3. But the rollout of the aircraft was on 18 March 1954. And the history of the B-52 manufacture, I could go through those, but I won't today because it just go too much time. But in 54, they built 3. And in the B model, they built 50 of those. On down the C model, D model, E model, F model. So there was like 50, 35, 170 D models, 100 E models, 89 F models, and then the G and H, because you kind of hear a lot of those today, 193 of the G models and 102 of the H's. And those were built, the last ones were built in 61, 62, and 63.
Wow. When I was in the Air Force, there was only 2 B-52 bases left, Minot and Barksdale. Is that still... Do you know if that's still the case, or did they?
Find out.
I think
I can find out.
I think it was Minot, North Dakota, and then there at Barksdale. That was the 2 bases that were the buff bases. That was in the 90s, though. So I don't know if they've consolidated to 1 base or did they add another base, or who knows. I have no idea when they move things around like that, but. That's and that is so cool. I love that. I love that story, and I love the fact that
they all got in it.
Yeah,
I can imagine all these guys, all the top engineers, all just hanging around in a motel room
I feel like they could,
ordering pizza and brought it in. You know, then they're working on this plane.
You know how they got all these Netflix.
And sometimes that's the best way to get stuff done.
You know how they got all these Netflix documentary series and all that. And they talk. I could easily see that as one that people would like to watch. You know, the how did the B-52 happen?
The birth of the B-52.
Yeah, and it's like weekend thing with it's like Weekend at Bernie's at a college at a hotel room with these guys designing it. You know, that's kind of the image in my head I picture. So that's pretty cool.
By the way, our current board members are myself, Robert Sherman, Katie Yates is our treasurer, Sandy Correa is our secretary, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Kloffer, and Friar Jarek Norwaki.
Awesome.
Well, so again, we're looking for some additional warm bodies to help us out.
Absolutely.
And some other folks that have helped the museum recently. One of them is Daniel Cederberg. Who's Daniel Cederberg? Well, Daniel is the main guy over there at Moonrock Outfitters. It's a bicycle shop behind Stellar's Coffee up here on 300 block of North Main on the east side street. And it's kind of hidden back there behind Stellar's. You can go into Stellar Coffee and walk along the hallway in the north wall and go back. But he took this beat-up old bicycle that didn't have any tires or anything, and we put some authentic-looking tires, at least, on the bicycle that was used at Walker to deliver stuff all over the base.
Yeah, military.
And it's an old rally bike. And I just happen to have about a 50-year-old leather seat that I used to have on a bicycle I have had a newer seat put on since then. It was leather in those days. But we put that on there, and because before it just kind of didn't really have a seat.
Okay.
But anyway, he got it kind of up to speed. We keeping it really authentic looking.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he's an expert in bicycle stuff.
Sure.
So I appreciate Daniel Cederberg doing that for me, and also that's where I'm gonna take my bicycles over there. He's got good stuff going.
The man's working in the roots of aviation.
That's right.
For folks that don't know, the Wright brothers, they were bicycle makers.
Yeah.
Before they were making airplanes. And,
that's right.
So a bit of little full circle there, I'd say.
I want to thank Bob Donnell's wife, Peggy Donnell. She was out helping us move stuff out of that storage room, like I said, back to the U-Haul. And he's one of those people that I start to pick up a box and go, oh, man, I better wait for Bob to help me. And she said, I'll just take it. So I said, okay, fine. Shame me, so I picked that up.
You can't. You lose your argument real quick when that happens.
Don't wimp out. Just get it and let's get going.
Absolutely.
Scott Starks helped out a lot at the Air Center, and Nola Fulkerson helped us arrange the museum, and Haven Sills updated our inventory. So appreciate those folks.
Absolutely.
So right now we've got a bicycle that generates electrical power on a light pole and a fan. We got a Jacobs ladder with a 10,000 watt generator with lightning and moves up and down a rod, and some old aircraft items, slide rule. Of course, I'm at the age where I was totally familiar with slide rules and stuff, parachutes, and I'm trying to still get a U-2 pressure suit. And that U-2's been extended just like the B-52, and that's kind of why we didn't get the pressure suit we thought we were going to get.
Well, and that's what we're running out of time, but you're talking about slide rules and all that.
Right.
Like you look at these Atlas and Minuteman missile sites that we had around here. That's the part that's so awesome. And when you wrap your head around that is when the way those things are built, the feet of concrete and the cylinders and how they built, and those all that technology was designed not with computers, not with like today they do all this with a computer. It was guys with slide rules and just doing all complex calculations with hand items, not with today you punch things into computers.
When I finally graduated, got my master's in like 68, that's when they finally started coming out with some cheap computers that could give you, multiplication, division, just boop boop.
Sure.
But up until then, it was like slide rule.
And that's to me to not only achieve the feats they achieve, but to do. I mean, to me, it's almost a comparison of like looking at Aztec and Mayan ruins, and they like the sun. Like they built this temple in the exact spot so the sun goes through the thing at the certain time, and the moon. And this was thousands of years ago. I'm not saying it's not exactly like that, but it kind of is a little bit. Is they're harnessing nuclear power and sending it, and all that was designed and thought of by using slide rules and not being crunched numbers with It was all done in the brain. And that to me, when you look at it in those terms, that's an amazing feat that humans have done there. And it's just something.
And one of the things I always kind of chuckle about, I had roommates that had bamboo and plastic covered. They were engineers.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was aluminum as a picket. All those people that had aluminum slide rules, the night before the test, besides studying for the test, you got it out just like a gun, and you cleaned it and you oiled it because you could get a aluminum burr in there and it would actually bind up where it wouldn't work during a test.
And you need a smooth slide to slide.
It had to be just like a gun. It had to work real smooth if you needed it.
As long as y'all weren't
going to need it on the test.
As long as y'all weren't doing Full Metal Jacket sayings while you were clean. This is my slide rule. This is my.
I know that younger generation is hearing that and going, seriously? I just use my wristwatch. Right? This is my phone.
Well, see, that's why I'm trying to sink home. It's like they didn't have those things. They had to work this out. They had to figure it out.
I still can't get used to talking to my phone and asking it, how many miles is it from Roswell, Mexico to Wichita, Kansas?
Yeah, I do. I forget that too. I always have questions like, I wonder. And I'm like, well, just ask my phone,
Seriously? Yeah.
Don't think about it. Folks, if you want to help out, if you want to be a member, if you want to be a volunteer, WAFBmuseum.org, Walker Air Force Base Museum is the home there. You can also like and follow the Walker Air Force Base Museum on Facebook. There's a Facebook page there. You can just go ahead and like and follow and keep up to date on things like this. Find out when sometimes, like you were saying, you work with the various schools and things, but from time to time, some of our United States military come here for various training exercises.
They're coming toward the end of the month.
Oh, very good.
Of August, 509th, KC-135.
Oh, nice. So we're
going to try to get some of the students out there to get inside that aircraft.
Those refuelers are cool. If you get a chance, go out and check them out. Very good. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to get?
Probably, but we've got to move on.
We'll get it next time.
We'll get it next time.
Awesome. Well, as always, appreciate the visit and.
Okay.
Don't work too hard. We'll see you next time.
Oh, I won't. Okay. All right.
And we can talk more about Buffs. I got A-10's my favorite all-time aircraft. The Buff is a close second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a fun air. It's just nostalgic for me, one I appreciate. Put it this way. There's a lot. I've got to crawl through one of those tubes and stuff down in B-50. It's a lot.
All right.
All right, it is 7:50. Let's get you up to date with news and your Kim Commando and a quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The beginning of a new school year means new adventures for many children, new friends to meet, new teachers to get used to, new academic subjects to learn and master, and for some, new school buildings to figure out. With all of this facing local kids at school as it begins anew August 4th, children may not be paying as much attention as they should to safely getting to and from school. So it's important for parents and other adults to talk to their kids about staying safe as they make the regular trip to school and home again. The Roswell Police Department is asking parents and guardians to remind their kids to look both directions before crossing a street. Try to use a crosswalk and never head into the street from between parked vehicles or from in front of or behind a parked vehicle. It can often be difficult for a driver to have enough time to stop if a previously unseen child darts out suddenly. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
You may have heard that the Senate is ready to vote for spending $1.2 trillion to rebuild parts of America's infrastructure. Now, the only way that the government gets money is through taxes. And that $1 trillion spending spree is going to be partially funded by taxing Bitcoin and more than 8,600 other forms of cryptocurrency. I'm Kim Commando with more, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. These new taxes will raise an additional $28 billion, as all cryptocurrency brokers and investors will be required to report all cybercurrency transactions right to the IRS. Cryptocurrency advocates are up in arms, saying that many who owe cryptocurrency transaction taxes, they don't even know that they have a tax bill due. And that's a losing argument, as the IRS counters that, overall, almost $500 billion taxes are not paid each year. If you trade in cybercurrency, the tax man is coming. I'm Kim Commando. Today, many small business owners are busier than ever. Because they're focused on managing and growing their businesses, they can't always spend the time they wish they could on recruiting, but it's so important. LinkedIn Jobs has made it easier than ever to find and hire the best candidates for free. Get started by posting your job for free to reach LinkedIn's network of 740 million professionals. Fill out targeted screening questions to get your role in front of the most qualified candidates with the experience, skills, and motivation that you need. Then use simple tools to filter and prioritize the top candidates you'd like to interview. LinkedIn Jobs will help you hire the right person for your role fast. Did you know that every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Why wait? Now's the time to find your next superstar employee. Post your first job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your first job for free. linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. It should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Zoom has agreed to pay $85 million to settle a lawsuit alleging allegations its video conferencing services weak privacy controls, opened too many peepholes into its users' personal information, and made it too easy to disrupt their meetings during the early stages of the pandemic. Twitter has signed a deal with the Associated Press and Reuters to help elevate accurate information on its platform. Twitter said Monday that the program will expand its existing work to help explain why certain subjects are trending on the site, to show information and news from trusted resources, and to debunk misinformation. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 97 points to close at 34,838. The Nasdaq up 8 points to 14,681, and the S&P 500 dropped 8 to 4,387. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Talk about local color. Your trees are supposed to be green, not yellow. Hello, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. While we've been talking about our colorful geraniums, I've been noticing a lot of yellow trees around town, particularly those globe willows. It may come as a shock to you, but those trees are supposed to be green. If you have yellow trees, come see us at Roswell Seed Company. We have a fix that's fast and easy and doesn't cost very much. Remember, it's okay to have yellow flowers, but not yellow trees.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The verb form of the word run has been calculated to have almost 650 different meanings. So think about that the next time you run up your tab at the bar, and then run into a friend while you run away from the bartender. here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico join us, chit-chatting about several things. Fall fundraisers. We got book fair coming up, blood drive, of course, donations, all kind of stuff. So we'll chit-chat with her next hour. Don't forget, today's the last day that the Roswell Police Department is collecting items for their back-to-school supply drive, benefiting local and local surrounding area students. They've been collecting items since mid-July, but today's the last day. If you have your school supplies and like to drop them off, today's the day to do it. Drop them off at the Roswell Police Department at 128 West 2nd. If you'd like to go out and do a little shopping today and make a donation before the school supply drive wraps up here. Items they're looking for in new condition include spiral notebooks, wide-ruled, notebook paper, also wide-ruled, plastic folders, the ones with the pockets and brads, pencil top erasers, composition notebooks, washable markers, red, blue, and black pens, number 2 pencils, glue sticks, large erasers, scissors, crayons, colored pencils, backpacks, rulers, markers, facial tissue, and hand sanitizer. Again, that's drop off those items at the Roswell Police Department. Today is the last day that they are collecting items for their back-to-school drive. All right, closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As the coronavirus Delta variant spreads, Louisiana reinstating a statewide mask mandate for both vaccinated and unvaccinated residents in all indoor locations, including schools and colleges. In New York, Governor Cuomo says workers in New York City's airports and public transit system will have to be vaccinated or face weekly testing. And in the Chinese city where COVID-19 got its start, mass testing is underway.
The provincial capital of 11 million people is the latest city to undergo city-wide testing in China. 3 cases were confirmed in Wuhan on Monday, its first non-imported cases in more than a year. China has largely curbed COVID-19 at home after the initial outbreak had devastated Wuhan and spread globally. The current outbreaks are still in the hundreds of cases in total, but have spread much more widely than previous ones. Many of the cases have been identified as the highly contagious Delta variant. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina tested positive for COVID-19.
So the Capitol physician has recommended mask wearing regardless of vaccination status. Most Republicans have not been wearing them, and even some Democrats would remove them while hobnobbing on the floor with their colleagues. A masked GOP Senator Richard Shelby of Alabama asked reporters, "Y'all okay? Nobody sick?" as senators came to the Capitol for the first vote after the news of Graham's positive test result.
Capitol Hill correspondent Bernie Bennett, Graham fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The White House moving to pressure state and local governments to swiftly adopt policies aimed at protecting renters after that eviction moratorium expired over the weekend. Millions of Americans facing the possibility of eviction. Wall Street, the Dow down 79 points, and NASDAQ is off 49. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The United States has killed Osama bin Laden.
Hours after that announcement, the White House leaked that it was SEAL Team 6 that carried out the operation. Al-Qaeda placed bounties on the heads of all Navy SEALs. Then, just 3 months later,
Extortion 1-7 requesting permission to take off.
The U.S. Army helicopter carrying many from SEAL Team 6 and others entered the Tangi Valley.
That's all flash. You seen flash? Anybody out there? We have a fallen angel. Fallen angel. Roger.
Extortion 1-7, the provocative new film telling the story of the largest loss of life in U.S. Special Forces history, now playing on SalemNow.com. Questions quickly arise. Why did it take 17 minutes to fly a 10-minute mission? Was there a black box on board?
Every American should be taught about what happened in Extortion 17.
What really happened to SEAL Team 6 that dreadful night? Fallen Angel, Extortion 1-7, the story most Americans don't know. Watch exclusively at SalemNow.com.
The head of a group that helps people who have fled political persecution in Belarus has been found dead near his home in neighboring Ukraine.
Vitaly Shishov's body was found hanged in a park in Kiev, close to where he lived in exile. He'd been missing since yesterday morning. Ukrainian police have opened a murder inquiry and say they're investigating whether his death had been made to look like suicide. Friends of Mr. Shishov said marks on his face suggested he'd been beaten up. The activist, who moved to Ukraine last autumn, ran a group which helps people fleeing neighboring Belarus. Other dissidents have accused the regime of President Alexander Lukashenko of cracking down on opposition activists abroad. Mr. Shishov's colleagues say they were warned repeatedly of the danger of kidnapping and even assassination.
The BBC's Paul Adams. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow down 75 points. News and analysis at townhall.com. U.S.-Russia relations continue to deteriorate.
The Russian ambassador to the United States says Washington has ordered 24 Russian diplomats to leave the country by September 3rd. The move comes shortly after the U.S. said it had laid off nearly 200 local Russian staffers working for its diplomatic missions in Russia. They are the latest in a series of measures taken by both sides that have strained U.S.-Russia relations. The State Department denies the move was in retaliation for the ban on local Russian staff at U.S. missions and says the 24 could apply for visa extensions. Keith Peters reporting.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer looking to speed up consideration of a nearly $1 trillion bipartisan national infrastructure package. He's promising that fellow Democrats will work with Republicans on amendments for the Senate's consideration. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Welcome to it. Mm-hmm. A little overcast, but they're saying the rain chance is like a 20 tonight.
Yeah.
20 tomorrow. 20 tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So, just a little bit. A little something.
And enjoy the temps next couple days. It's like 85, 87. This weekend, 97, 98.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's almost bookended. Like we had right at the beginning, and then right at the end of not necessarily summer, but for the kids, the end of their summer.
Right.
So it's like bookended. You know, nice little heat waves to cap off both ends of the summer. Let you know that you had a little bit of summer, but they gave you a break in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. This morning, I got a text.
That's all right. This portion of the program.
It was related to my interview here in a few minutes. That's why I was like,
good.
I better pay attention to this one.
Very good. I'm like, oh, crud, I got to fill. Got nothing.
No,
I got plenty, but nobody wants to listen to what I have to talk about.
Yeah, I was just getting a text. I haven't looked at my email this morning. I did last night, but I need to look at this morning because I have to call our guest now, and that would have been that's useful information to know when you're doing the show. So we're gonna have Amy McVeigh-Tejas on the telly. Telly
should be joining you on the telly.
The telly Savalas.
You know what's funny is
who loves you, baby?
The British they just drop the word "the" a lot. Like They've gone to hospital. They went to university.
Really?
Yeah. As I've listened to a lot of British people talk, a lot of them just say, "Oh yeah, they've gone to hospital."
That's odd.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
Has that always been a thing?
I guess it's like colonial English. I don't know, but yeah, like
I don't know what colony they're going for.
I've heard a lot of British people say like, "Oh yeah, I came from university." You know, when I went to university, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's.
I will.
They just don't use the word "the" that often. I guess "the" is a simple. Maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. I know "the" isn't an American thing, but maybe we like made it our own.
I don't know. I like to use the word "the."
It feels useful. It's a good conjunction.
I like to use the word "the" when you don't need the word "the." Like when you say, "I'm going to get on the internet."
What's funny is the word "the" is actually rather a divisive word because you find people when they're reading, they say "the."
Yeah.
You're like, I want to punch you. You say "the." Say "the." Soften that "e." Soften it right now. You soften that "e."
Well, maybe the "these" are trying to be close to the "thys."
I just want to know, what are those?
I think the "thes" are full in on the "thes." I think the "these" want to be fancy and try to slip a "thy," but they know they can't go with "thy."
They can't pull off a thigh.
So they just go with "thee."
I am a thigh man.
Because they say "the" is just too rude.
And as somebody who likes to "ify" almost everything, I would think that you would prefer a "thee" because it would give you access to a thigh.
I will slip a "thy" or a "thee," but my general everyday vernacular is "the."
Makes sense. Makes the sense.
If I'm trying to emphasize a word, I may throw
I will say
"thee" or "thy."
The word "thee" is useful only in like a few cases, one of which being the first annual. You know, if you really want to put emphasis in like a car commercial. Yep. But then I've also caught myself going, the first, And by the way, you can't actually have a first annual anything. Somebody brought this up to me once. You can't have a first annual anything.
Yeah.
Because technically it's the first. You don't know if it's annual yet.
Your plan is, but what if this first one don't go so well?
That's
Maybe
right.
they're not going to have one.
It might not have a second annual.
I just had just throwing this out there. Next time you need to do a hard sell car dealership ad.
So like Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Later today. Here's what see if you can sell this. Hard, high action voice, but medieval speak. Like, hear ye, come hither, hither. The deals, maybe you.
Thy deals are waiting for you.
Yeah, I think.
Get thee to run. No, I'm not going to drop a dealership name into this one.
Your chariot awaits. I'm just saying we could, maybe we should need to work something in.
Get thee to an apothecary. These deals. These deals belie the clarity of your knowledge.
What the prefect doesn't know, we'll be looting. I think we should do that. I like it.
Get a king's ride for a pittance.
Oh, man. Yeah. Make your trip to the privy that much more luxurious.
Good credit, bad credit, the king doth look the other way.
Get extra rations this month?
Tax refunds? We don't know what a tax refund is in our kingdom.
I think we're the only two laughing at this point.
Totally. And pulling way more back of the curtain than in the dealership game than we should be.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, Amy McVeigh-Tejas is going to join us here in just a little bit.
Speaking of historical.
Yes, right. Although the history we talk about is a little bit more modern than
it's
that.
A little more advanced.
And not a lot of castles here in Roswell, New Mexico.
I don't know, man. That JP White House,
it's stout. It's not a castle.
Big
Trust me. The repair cost, it's not a castle.
In fairness, I've been in a few what I would call manors in Roswell. So you better mind yours. Yeah, no, you can't really call them houses because they're properties. They're like big.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful home. So
when you've got a built-in coffee maker, you've made it.
JP White House does not have a built-in coffee maker.
You should look into that, Amy, if you're listening. I'm not saying it's going to be traditional. I'm just saying it'd be a big sell.
We got an automatic butter churn.
Okay, I'm just saying if you put a Coke remix in the corner, like in the upstairs corner in the kids' room, be a big hit. Not saying it'd be historically accurate. It'd be a big hit. You get yourself a Mellow Yellow Zero Sugar at the end of your tour. I'm just saying.
Now I think cable guy. Hey, can I get a Pepsi? I gotta get a fork. There was no forks in medieval times, hence you eat with your fingers here, but they had Pepsi. Give me a break, bud.
Dude, speaking of, I know you got an interview to get to. Speaking of medieval times and theme restaurants in general, you know, did you hear that Casa Bonita was going out of business?
No, I did not.
So Casa Bonita, featured famously in South Park, was going out of business until this weekend when it was announced that Matt Stone and Trey Parker, along with a consortium of restaurateurs, are purchasing Casa Bonita. And renovating it. They're like gonna make it this big thing.
Is it the South Park themed restaurant?
Well, because it was featured in an episode of South Park.
Yeah.
Because they had like Kyle's birthday at a Casa Bonita, and Cartman really wanted to go to the point where he like buried one of his friends and like faked his murder or something.
Casa
like
Bonita is going to turn into the Isotopes.
Well, what they're saying is they want to keep true to what it is. Like they want to keep Black Bart's Cave, the original. The Cliff Divers are still going to be a thing.
Slide.
But they want to expand it a little bit. They already have like little things like the previous owners were like leaning into the South Park thing, so they had like hidden Cartmans. So they're going to have like hidden Cartmans still and stuff like that. But it's just interesting that the guys from South Park are keeping Casa Bonita alive of all things.
Well, they got the money.
And that news story popped up in my feed. I'm like, oh.
They certainly have
the algorithm knows me well.
Yeah, they certainly have the financial ability to
that
do
they
that.
do.
So, it is 8:14. Probably should do some weather. So let's do that. Here for your listening pleasure is the weather. Enjoy the coolness now while you got it.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia, will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. Should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I just got a text from Andrea. She was talking about the South Park thing Sean was saying, just saying that the owners of Casa Bonita won't sell to South Park. So, guys, Trey Parker. So
that's very odd because they're in bankruptcy. Like they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I guess beggars can be choosers.
Sorry, no Cartman-themed foods for you today. It is 71 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Partly cloudy today with a high of 87. I will enjoy that part. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. There is a 20% chance of rain tonight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 65. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, a 20% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, high of 85. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. That 20% chance of rain continues into tomorrow night as well. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 66. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then that pretty much wraps up our rain chances for the rest of this week. Thursday, mostly sunny, highs near 90. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10. Friday, sunny and a high of 95. Saturday, sunny, high of 98. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 98. And then mostly sunny next Monday with a high of 97. So one more last hurrah of summer here before I'm guessing we get into the fall. Hopefully. Knock on wood. We'll see. All right, it is 8:17. Before we take a break here, do want to let you know that, of course, we just had Nook from Asian Market join us last week talking about some of the new soups and things that she's got come out on Saturdays. I had some more I ate the whole quart myself. It was delicious. But anyway, if you would like an opportunity to work at Asian Market, well, Nook at Asian Market is looking for some employees. She has immediate openings available. She's not looking for cooks. She's got the cooking covered. But she does need everything else. Waiters and waitresses, sales staff, and cashier for both the store and for the restaurant. She's looking for friendly and hardworking people. If you have any questions or want some more information, apply in person at Nook's Asian Market, 5702 South Main. Just right there, look for the big blue sign. They are an equal opportunity employer. Just a pro tip, though. Nook is very busy during lunch rush and all that, so maybe in between meal times is the best if you're coming in to inquire about a job. Otherwise, she might put you to work right there. I don't know, but swing on by Asia Market if you're looking for. She's looking for waiters, waitresses, sales, and cashiers for both the store and the restaurant. Apply in person, 5702 South Main at Asian Market. All right, it is 8:18. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll talk with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico on the other side. Do not go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our original gold-rimmed homemade vanilla, the country's gold standard of ice cream flavors since 1969. Its hand-cranked taste takes you back to simpler times. That's why we put the word home right on the carton.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Smokey's Country Market in Capitan and all Farmers Country Markets.
You've slouched on it. You've slept on it. You've sheltered in place on it until it's worn out. Now it's time for new furniture from Glenn's. Like a breath of fresh air, Glenn's will brighten your home with beautiful new furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. And at Glenn's, everything is ready for immediate delivery. So reopen your life and refresh your home with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. We are the voices of insanity in the midst of COVID insanity. We'll get you started with your week and get you rolling on making normal again.
Plus, we've got the border still a total mess, the Biden administration a disaster, the budget still coursing its way through in Congress. We'll break it all down for you and more coming up on the next Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women. Mike recommends that if you see a tribe of hairy women, you don't call them gorillas. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us. Good morning, Amy. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you today?
Hanging in there.
Well, unfortunately, you're not going to get to see Big Flat Mike sitting here. And I managed to procure a Roswell seed hat to put on his head for now. It barely fits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So folks get to enjoy that in the background here when they chit chat on me there. But well, first off, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I know Historical Society's pretty busy right now. We got a lot going on. We've got some events coming up here for the fall. We want to talk about. We've got we got a lot of work. It's been a busy summer for the Historical Society as far as getting things back in order. It's been it's been a maintenance year so far, really, for the Historical Society. We've had some awesome stuff. We finally got the flag and the brick fundraiser. We finally got that all set up and done, and now we've got issues with the house that we're working on right now. And so, it's been a busy summer. A lot of construction, a lot of renovation going on.
That's right. It is true. And I've thought a lot about it, and sometimes I'm lost for words. But, I think, Mike, you and I have talked a lot about where we're at today is we have a lot of wants, but right now we have a lot of needs.
Yeah.
And we have to focus on those needs and do whatever it takes to preserve our beautiful museum and that beautiful historical structure. And we've got to maintain that and the archive facility, both equally significant, both with needs right now. And anybody that's been driving by, I know the roof at the archives they started working on that on Wednesday. I think we're just fixing to complete that. And yes, to say the least, many of these unfortunate circumstances, although very significant, have depleted a lot of our emergency funds. And as well as I do, Mike, when these things happen, we roll up our sleeves. We're ready to get to work, but we also need the support of this amazing community that my whole life has been coming through for organizations. We come together, we work together, and to say that we need the support of the community, I think is an understatement, but I don't know how else we can say it. But we can.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to polish that. It's like, hey, I know we're having fundraiser, raise money, and we don't want to sit there and beg for money, but at the same time, it is very expensive to fix a foundation and a roof on a historic building. Replacing a roof at any building is expensive, but we've had two of them, and now and one's a historic building, and then right before all of that, there's a carriage house on the property too that we just a couple years ago put all kinds of money in the renovation and upgrade or upkeep of that facility as well, and it's all awesome and needed and well preserved, but at the same time, it's very expensive. It's not like a house that you or I live in. It's a house that is a historical landmark. Therefore, when you have to do repairs and things, you just can't slap the latest technology or roofing on this thing. You have to be period correct with also doing the job. So, and let's face it, even getting the people to work on these things that are qualified and understand some of the technologies that are older technologies that we need for this house, all that costs money, more money than an average home would cost. So this is why we look like we're panhandlers all the time, trying to get money from everybody.
It's true because Do Right Roofing's fixing to finish their job, and then pretty soon next month we're going to have somebody else coming. Children's coming to work on our foundation. So it seems to just be one thing after another. But through all this, the flip side of this is, I'm proud to say our hardworking board has risen to the occasion, and we pulled together some great events. And I know without these unique circumstances, we wouldn't have probably done some of the great things that we have done and are fixing to do. And so, again, as I'll say and probably continue saying, let's talk about some of the great things we can do. And I'm really, really excited about it. Mike, we haven't talked about this one. And say this twice. I hope everybody that is sitting by their office or by a notebook writes down the wonderful event that's coming up for September the 30th.
Okay.
So mark your calendars. That's a Thursday. And say this twice. We're going to have a fabulous fall fiesta fundraiser. There you go. Oh, and it is going to be a drive-through, and we're really excited because I think we've done different menus, and we're partnering again with Peppers, and we're going to have some fajitas. So I think, Mike, you said now's where we would turn on that little sizzler machine, right? If
That's
you
right.
could hear the
We can, if we could somehow pump that sizzling smell and sizzle sound, we're gonna pump that through the town some way, shape, or form.
Mike, we need to have those air filtration systems like they have in Las Vegas, to where everybody in town's smelling fajitas and wondering where it's coming from. And we'll just remind them, you better make your reservation now for September the 30th.
Hey, I got an idea. We can make the title even more confusing. Fabulous Fall Fiesta Fajita Fundraiser.
Fajita Fundraiser. And then throw Fantastic in there somewhere, and then Mike drop it. But mark the calendars for September 30th. I just talked to the webmaster, and if you're listening now, you can make your reservation.
Yeah.
It'll be fajitas for two, and we're going to have a wonderful ceviche appetizer.
Nice.
And please forgive me if I'm really excited, and they are too. I mean, that's something that I think you and I also talked about. Not all of us want to cook that. It gets that aroma going, so let us bring it to you. We'll deliver it. And I'm challenging people right now to pull your friends together, have your office, get the whole grouping, and let's have some fajitas together and help support the Historical Society. And we need that support.
Absolutely, yeah. If for the food aficionados, I'll give you the quick rundown. It's of course, like as Amy said, you get ceviche for two for your appetizer, plus you get chicken and steak fajitas, black beans, calabacitas, tortilla, obviously, and of course your fixins, your guac, your sour cream, your shredded lettuce, your shredded green cheese, and pico de gallo. So you got everything you need there for a full fajita fiesta.
Yes. And to pay it forward, if you buy a box or are thinking about buying a box, think about showing your appreciation to those around you. Maybe your neighbor, have them over and do those fun things. Pickup will be between 5:30 and 6:30. We will be delivering also right around 5, so we wanted to make it convenient right after you get off work or right around that time, right before dinner. Just make those arrangements. That is on a Thursday. And that's right before our wonderful Eastern Mexico Fair gets started that next week. So I know there's a lot going on, but we just need to support something that we're doing in conjunction with that fundraiser, and it started now. Mm-hmm. So again, it's right now. If you go to the website at RoswellMHistory.org, you can make your reservations. But also, our website's going to remind of a couple of other things. One is we need your change. We're going to collect change, and every penny counts. So I think you and I. We're going to work together. I know Mike's got his bottle over there. Mm-hmm. I've got containers at the museum. And I want to remind people at work, put even if it's a bowl or a bucket or anything, get your employees and individuals to collect your change, bring them to the Historical Society. I know many banks are needing that change. So if you'll help support the Historical Society and collect the change, we'll turn that in and help the banks that are needing change and coins and that kind of thing. And again, every penny counts, and that will help us. And we want to, I think that we just sometimes take things for granted.
Absolutely.
People are saying, for a box for two of $100 for that fajita fundraiser, I may not be able to afford that now, or I may not be able to afford the $500 for a group. But I can collect my change. Well, that's one way you can help, and we just want to remind individuals that every penny does count.
Yeah.
And that's another way you can help the Historical Society also.
Absolutely, yeah. Those are exactly just raising a couple. So like I've got my big Coke bottle here, so people come in, drop in some change, or there's a couple bucks in there already in now. So every little bit adds up. Also, while you're at the website there too, do a little shopping. That's a great way to support the Historical Society. We are I'd like to say we as a society, one of our parts is connecting local authors and local historians with the public here too, and that's when you go shop on our website, you'll find books from authors all over the region. Obviously John LeMay and Elvis Fleming and some of the folks we talk about all the time. But there are other books as well. Donna Blake Burchell, she's got a lot of stuff with Carlsbad, a lot of that history there too. But every one of these books we can get autographed, and all of them are all local history books that, let's face it, you could probably get on Amazon, maybe at a local bookstore or something. But if you get it through the Historical Society, you're helping the author, but every little bit of that also helps the Historical Society too. And then, of course, we can get those signed and autographed if you'd like to do them for maybe you've got I know there's a few John LeMay fans out there that like to get autographed copies of his books and give them as presents to family and things like that too. So
I think it's so awesome, because if John's not writing a book, Donna is. So generally, or if it's not them, it's Linda Sanchez or one of the McCollums. And I want to remind people, I know we've talked about it, but also mark the calendar, September 4th, the book fair coming up, talking about books.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot of authors there present to sign books. Even the Lee County historian, Mr. Minton's coming down to sign some books too. So that'll be a great day. Somebody called me yesterday about the time. I guess they had seen somewhere where they were questioning the time. That book fair on September 4th is from 9 to 12.
Yes.
And while I'm thinking about it, that event will be in our archive facility. Mm-hmm. And don't forget our archive facility for your events, for your parties, for your meetings, and those kinds of things. That facility can easily set 50 to 100, depending on how we're setting it up. That's a beautiful new facility. That kitchen's almost brand new. It's very reasonable rates.
Yeah.
It is nice and clean, and it's a beautiful facility. So,
absolutely.
Book your receptions and stuff there. That's another way to help directly support the Historical Society.
Yeah, like you said, it's got a full kitchen. It's got and it's got beautiful decor. It's photos and stuff from our past. They're decorated in there too. So
that's right. That really can be the entertainment, just conversational matter, taking you back to remember when kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course we can help with arrangements on layouts and all that stuff too. So
yes.
Absolutely. I had a question back at the book fair real quick. I remember we talked I think last time on the radio that you had one copy of the Chew Cookbook left. Is that in the book fair, or has that one been claimed, or
It has not been claimed.
Okay.
And it has not been claimed. Nobody has called. And I don't believe that we will be offering that at the book fair.
Okay.
But I will say this. That is something you need to call the museum at 622-8333.
Okay.
And I will be happy to work with somebody to make a one-time donation for a Jack Chew's cookbook.
Well, I know I happen to have been snooping around Facebook, as I do from time to time, and I happened to notice it was a thread. It was about a week ago, I think I saw the thread. But there was people on the hunt for a copy of that book, and there were people very like, ooh, I remember. And of course, they were all reminiscing, and they were like, I'll get a copy. But so if there's some of those people looking for it, there is a copy that the Historical Society is willing to part with if you're willing to, hook a brother up here a little bit.
Hey, and that's a win-win. So yes, we do have that is there at the museum. We got that donated, so just call the museum at 622-8333 for more information. Or if somebody's listening, and you can email me directly at historydirector@outlook.com.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'd love to get you a copy of that book, because we know it's not just the food; it's the memories and the association with that family and our community, and the memories that other families have created at their restaurants over the years, and that's what that cookbook's about. So we would love to help you do that. Help us preserve history by making a nice little donation.
Other things I'm thinking about on the website to mention, if you donated blood at our last blood drive, it's that time again, booked today. Our blood drive at the Historical Society will be on September the 21st.
Yes.
All the information is on the website, too. And my goodness, Stephanie and Vitalia and them, they're doing a great job over there. And that is one way that, like we have said, what an honor to impact the lives of others and support the Historical Society. Any individual that will donate blood on that day will get a gift. for supporting the Historical Society and doing what you can to help them in the great work that they do also.
Absolutely.
Something else we haven't mentioned, or I can't remember, we have the honor and privilege of partnering with the Roswell Community Little Theater and the CAPS program. I want to remind individuals to mark their calendars for October the 23rd. That is going to be an amazing day from 10 to 4. The Living Museum, past and present. There will be reenactments by our amazing youth celebrating the lives of individuals that have impacted our area, including Judge Alvin Jones and Elvis Fleming, and some amazing historical figures. There is no way they could honor all of the individuals that have impacted history.
Yeah.
So I think the amazing thing about the CAPS program, the Stranges and Lynetta and so many wonderful people through the Roswell Community Little Theater, that once we get this going, I think that will be an ongoing event, and we'll continue honoring those that have impacted history. So remember that date, October the 23rd, from 10 to 4. That event will be at the Historical Society. I think these amazing organizations are going to fill up our entire property, and I'm really excited to see all of this come together, too.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we all live in the same community and share the same patch of grass here, and to be honest, this is great because the CAPS program and the Historicals societies end game are similar, as far as enriching these children and providing them with education and history. And I know, like we've talked about the CAPS program through the Kids Arts program. One of those things that they're known for is their Graveside Manor, which is this event will be very similar to that, except for it's not in the cemetery. There's no dead people here. It's going to be at the Historical Society. Now, I'm not saying the place ain't haunted. There might be a ghost or two floating around. I don't know. It's an old house, but it's not the cemetery. I know that's off topic, but I've never asked. But has anybody ever claimed seen any weird things at that house or any of that kind of stuff? Has there ever been?
I love when Mary Lou Glass, the granddaughter of the Whites, is asked that question because she's got a great story. And she'll continue speaking, and you think, oh, this is a good one. It's going to be haunted. And then she refers to reflections of those in the house. So that's the best we've got. Okay. I've worked there over 8 years. I may be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I've worked beyond midnight. And I will say there's been some suspicious activity. Yeah. It's never been with ghosts. Okay. It's been unique characters.
It's usually
when I think, oh my gosh, it might be something. I'd love to have a fun story. I'm not the one that can create that. Maybe John can create something, but we've never had anything. It's a beautiful classic home, and I guess if there's anything, I would say it's not haunted, but those amazing memories of that house just linger throughout there.
Yeah.
And it's more the memories that are lingering around. But on a funny note, I don't think we've ever talked about this. And we had Phelps White's daughter there in the museum. Mike, I had never been introduced or heard the name Pedro around the museum. Well, Pedro was a bird that lived on the property. And I'm who's Pedro? Well, if you came in the back door and back in the days, and many might remember, you might be greeted by Pedro, and that was a bird that was I was like, I've never heard of Pedro or whatever. So if you remember Pedro, share your story on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. And if you do have, I want to challenge the community, too. I love to go down memory lane. If you remember going by the museum and you have a fun story, or whether you remember coming in the back door and being greeted by Pedro, I've been told Pedro would say hello to Grandma or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Share your story. Those are fun things. I had somebody just the other day saying they remember as a child seeing Miss White always working in her garden, as they drove by. That was their memory, always outside working in the garden. And those garden club legacies continue. She loved her beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
But I challenge Roswell to share your amazing memories of the White family or the beautiful house, or even you may have an old photo that we don't have.
Yeah.
Pictures say 1,000 words. Share those stories. Follow us on Facebook and just celebrate the memories. The house may not be haunted, but we sure can be honored to have a lot of memories lingering throughout.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you would like to come and tour the museum, we're doing private tours for folks. It's actually a more intimate, more personal experience. Just call Amy, and we can make arrangements to get a tour for you. And it's a personalized tour. You get your docent will go, and you and your small group can go through and get a great tour. And it's a more intimate tour because now you get to ask your questions and get to get information that because it's more time and more intimate. You don't have to, all right, we got to get the herd through for the next group kind of thing. It's very much more slowly walk through and get to really kind of take a deep dive into seeing the house itself, but the furniture, the life and times. That's the part I think most people, you get a real sense of what it was like to live in a house in that time period, and the modern luxuries of the day compared to how we live life today obviously is vastly different. But that's the cool part about it is you get to peel back the curtain and see what an affluent family looked like, what their lifestyle was like in the early 1900s.
That's right. And generally in the past we were just open 1 to 4. This is accommodating individuals. I know wonderful Miss Jane. I want to give a shout out to Jane Anglin. I hope she's listening. She's the one that takes so much time to give some private tours. I think she's giving one. Well, I don't think I know. She's giving one this morning.
As we speak.
Would be 1 to 4. Well, she's going to give one this morning because that's what worked into the visitor schedules. Something else I want to remind individuals. I got 2 texts yesterday asking. I know teachers are back in. I want our thoughts and prayers to go out to everybody through the Roswell Independent School District and the private schools as they get things going again. Yeah. Are we going to do 4th grade school tours? Everybody's already asking about that. We certainly hope to do that. Those events are generally in the spring.
Sure.
So we will work towards that goal and to kind of continue that legacy. The springs always work good to fall, kind of after spring break before school's out. Wonderful opportunity. But I want to encourage educators, if they are in need of historic presentations, maybe some brochures, any way the Historical Society can partner with the education process, whether it's elementary school, middle school, or high school. Our goals have always been to implement local history, whether it's in high school through history clubs or middle school history clubs, or just little presentations, maybe for our younger groups, our youngsters. John LeMay, many of our board members, Travis Ackerman, on our board, we are honored to work and partner and celebrate history. So if you want to think out of the box or start something new or different, give us a call. We are always willing to work with the education process, whatever that looks like, and including the arts. We're always honored to celebrate the Herd legacy. We've got some Herd prints, and I always think that can segue wonderful into some fun art projects. So we can work together any way possible.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, if you've got those high school seniors starting this year, we would love to have these high schoolers volunteer with us and utilize our archive facility. But also, we will have scholarships coming up this year too. So our archive facility is a wonderful tour to use for those kids to do research and use that also, those resources. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's and yeah, basically like you said with the 4th grade tours, everything on our end, we're going to be ready to go for it. Obviously, there's other variables in there that are deciding factors on that, but from a historical society, we're green light and ready to go for it on our end. So
we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Absolutely. But folks, go to visit the websites roswellnmhistory.org. There you'll find all the information or more information about everything we talked about here, including the fall fundraiser. Put it on. Start getting your orders in now. Let's help Peppers get. That's always the trick, is getting all those. I know we love to wait till the last minute, and like right now, as of right now, your RSVP deadline is September 3rd. We do not want to push that back. We want to make sure that everybody gets their orders in by September 3rd. That way we're not rushing. Adam here gives him some time to get supply and demand, and making sure he's got enough chicken and beef and all the fixins to accommodate us for that date. So please get your orders and your reservations in by September 3rd. That'll be awesome.
We would love to say on the radio, Mike, right? Wow, y'all have impressed us, and everybody's gotten their RSVPs in so early, we can't believe it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. I know it's not going to happen. I'm a realist, but it would be nice.
Yeah, that doesn't mean September 4th. That doesn't mean we're asking you to make a reservation at the book fair on September 4th.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
That means we need to make the reservations now and call your friends. Use the buddy system. We've got some people. I hope Cindy Boswell's listening. I think Cindy Boswell and Carolyn Mitchell have together enjoyed every one of our drive-thrus.
Good.
And they have fun together. They enjoy eating together. And so that's just, get your friends together and just have some fun. Let Peppers do the cooking. Have a celebration in the backyard or something. Do something fun. Decorate up the backyard and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Send some pictures and just enjoy yourself. And let Peppers do the cooking while helping the Historical Society and them during these challenging times. We just need your help in any way, through your pennies, through the fall fundraiser, through giving us a call, through making a donation, through purchasing books, or renting the archive facility. Mm-hmm. We just need the support. And I think on the last note, Mike, we have a goal by October 1st to raise $69,000 to cover the expenses that these one-time expenses that we are out this year. And please help support the Historical Society. We are a nonprofit. Your direct donation, certainly through our private 501c3, can be on the other side, written off. It is tax.
Absolutely, we do. Every bit counts, and as Amy said, and she's an awesome steward with the money. The board is very frugal on. Some hard work by a lot of people. We're going to be okay. The roofs will get fixed and things, but boy howdy, is it put some cobwebs in our wallet right now, and we need to get that rectified again, because let's face it. Old buildings will have something else wrong. I know we're not stupid. We know as soon as we get all this fixed, something else is going to be wrong, because that's just the nature of having things that are old. That's just how it is,
That's right. And I won't hesitate to say, when I first started working there, we didn't have emergency funds.
Yeah.
They had to use the emergency funds for expenses at that time. We have been blessed to have some emergency funds. Mike, if we didn't have our emergency funds, I don't know what we'd be doing right now. But let's be clear. We're not going to have emergency funds anymore. No. So if something else does come up, we will definitely have that issue. So we want to be good stewards of the money now, since we are depleting all that emergency fund.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there will be a day I may not have a choice but to work from home because we can't afford to turn the lights on.
To be honest, our next big meal thing might be Spam, because that's all we can afford is the Spam.
Well, and I will turn the lights on anyway, so I don't know how I could save much more money, but I will do it. And you are right. Any money that you give, if you are a frugal individual, you just know that we take those investments seriously. Every penny, hopefully, will become two, and we'll use it. But we just want to thank support. Many individuals continue to support, and without that, we wouldn't be here today.
Absolutely. Well, Amy, as always, appreciate the visit. I know you got about 10 things you got to get done, so we'll let you go do that.
And thank you. Thanks to 106.5. Shout out to all of y'all over there for helping us and so many other organizations in Roswell. Thank you for what you do. We really appreciate it.
And all those people wanting a big flat mic. You got money, or you got an idea? Come with it. He's just sitting here lingering and haunting me. He's kind of lurking in the corner of the picture right now. He's staring at
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Come on, have a big flat mic day.
Here you go.
At work. Come on. And I see the Texas Longhorn hat in the future at Big Flat Mike. So okay. I'm just saying.
All right. I will. You know what? If any Red Raider fans want to outbid her, go ahead.
Oh, come on, Mike McClode. If you're listening, I'm going to put a Longhorn hat on Big Flat Mike before you put your Red Raider hat. So the challenge is out there. Let Big Flat Mike come to you, and let's see what kind of hat Big Flat Mike needs,
Well, if no one pays up, I'm going to put a Washington football team hat on that thing, and I'm going to make everybody mad. So y'all better pony up.
Come on, people. Let's suit Big Flat Mike up. If you don't want Big Flat Mike to come to you, let's make a donation and see what kind of suit Big Flat Mike needs.
There you go. Pay up, or we will torture you with this thing.
That's true. Come on now. That's funny. That's funny. Let's have some fun with it. The challenge is out there. So
Absolutely.
That's
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next time, okay?
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. That was Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. Big thank you to her. And, we have fun. It's a great group of people. And if you'd like to get involved, we're always looking for volunteers and things, too. But, no, all joking aside, we got our pennies pinched here with these roof and foundation expenses, and we could use your help. So please buy some fajitas, buy some books, come support us. At the end of the day, the house is awesome, but that archives facility is home to our history, to all kinds of documents and books and photographs and things of our history. And where does that go at the Historical Society? We don't know. So help us. I'm not trying to guilt you, but I guess I'm trying to guilt you. Help us out. All right, 8:53. Let's go ahead and get you up to date with news, weather, your town hall business update, and quick break. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The beginning of a new school year means new adventures for many children, new friends to meet, new teachers to get used to, new academic subjects to learn and master, and for some, new school buildings to figure out. With all of this facing local kids at school as it begins anew August 4th, children may not be paying as much attention as they should to safely getting to and from school. So it's important for parents and other adults to talk to their kids about staying safe as they make the regular trip to school and home again. The Roswell Police Department is asking parents and guardians to remind their kids to look both directions before crossing a street. Try to use a crosswalk and never head into the street from between parked vehicles or from in front of or behind a parked vehicle. It can often be difficult for a driver to have enough time to stop if a previously unseen child darts out suddenly. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. It should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Zoom has agreed to pay $85 million to settle a lawsuit alleging allegations its video conferencing services weak privacy controls, opened too many peepholes into its users' personal information, and made it too easy to disrupt their meetings during the early stages of the pandemic. Twitter has signed a deal with the Associated Press and Reuters to help elevate accurate information on its platform. Twitter said Monday that the program will expand its existing work to help explain why certain subjects are trending on the site, to show information and news from trusted resources, and to debunk misinformation. On Wall Street, the Dow lost 97 points to close at 34,838. The Nasdaq up 8 points to 14,681. And the S&P 500 dropped 8 to 4,387. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Red Dirt Black Gold 2021 is coming. Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. The all-day festival celebrating heritage, tradition, and a whole lot of fun. Booth space is available. If you're a local entrepreneur, artisan, or small business owner, this is your chance to be a part of the biggest block party of the year. It's only $50 to reserve your spot, but space is limited and time is running out. Get more info and print your application now at reddirtblackgold.com. Red Dirt Black Gold 2021. Saturday, August 28th in downtown Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
You've slouched on it. You've slept on it. You've sheltered in place on it until it's worn out. Now it's time for new furniture from Glenn's. Like a breath of fresh air, Glenn's will brighten your home with beautiful new furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. And at Glenn's, everything is ready for immediate delivery. So reopen your life and refresh your home with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Celebrate the 80th anniversary of the last escape of Billy the Kid at Old Lincoln Days, Friday, August 6th through Sunday, August 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. The annual folk pageant portrays Billy the Kid's last escape and the notorious Lincoln County War, complete with food vendors, live music, arts and crafts, a parade, and so much more. The 80th anniversary is extra special, with concerts every day included in the price of your ticket, featuring the Clay Mack Band on Friday and Saturday night, and Susie Weber Hildman with Olivia and Dan Hildman on Sunday afternoon. Admission is only $10 for adults. Kids 6 through 12 are $6, and kids 5 and under are free. Tickets are available at the gate beginning at 10 a.m. each morning. Get ready for this once-in-a-generation experience, the 80th anniversary of Old Lincoln Days and the last escape of Billy the Kid, August 6th through the 8th in historic Lincoln, New Mexico. Watch history come alive.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck, the sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:59. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to play our interview we had with Amanda from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico. She joined us last week. They're in the need of bigs, and they've got littles right now. And we did profile a couple of the littles that are looking for bigs. And it's one young lady's looking for a big that's into shopping. Into needing, I think she needs a little girlfriend, is what she needs. So someone that loves shopping and loves that kind of stuff, she would be a great little for somebody. And then there's one young boy who's he wants to get dirty. He likes to get in the dirt, and he loves hunt. He wants a guy to go hunting and fishing with him and all that. So I'm sure we can find a few of those around town too. So we're going to play that interview for you next hour here, about 9:15 or so. And then, of course, we got Town Hall News coming up here in just a few minutes, and then we'll come back on the other side of Town Hall News for hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters. Quick news update. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Pentagon is on lockdown. The step comes after multiple gunshots were fired near a platform by the facility's metro station. It is a first for a major American city. New York City will soon require proof of COVID-19 vaccinations for anyone who wants to dine indoors at a restaurant, see a performance, or go to the gym. This amid a summer surge of COVID-19 cases around the country.
New cases per day in the U.S. have increased sixfold over the past month to an average of nearly 80,000, a level not seen since February. And deaths per day have climbed over the past 2 weeks from an average of 259 to 360, forcing the reinstatement of mask mandates in businesses like some McDonald's and Home Depot. Medical experts still say the vaccinated are far more protected. And yesterday, the U.S. finally reached President Biden's goal of getting at least one COVID shot in the arms of 70% of American adults, a month later than his goal. I'm Julie Walker.
And the White House is urging state and local governments to quickly adopt policies aimed at protecting tenants from eviction.
President Biden is facing stiff criticism from many Democrats who say he was slow to address the end of the federal eviction moratorium. It expired over the weekend. In response, the White House is leaning on states and cities to help keep renters in place. Biden officials are also pointing a finger of blame at state officials for failing to get approved aid to those in need. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Simone Biles returned to competition at the Tokyo Olympics today, and she won a bronze medal in the balance beam final. The U.S. now leading the medal count at the Games, just ahead of China. Wall Street stocks mixed. The Dow up 44 points, the NASDAQ 51 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Let's be boring and do a commercial about cash-out refinances. It's Ryan, and our mortgage team will often have a listener say, I think I understand what a cash-out refinance is, but can't that be bad for you sometimes? So let's hit on that. As with anything, it's certainly not the right move for everyone. If we don't have to, we don't want to add a bunch of years onto our loan, or increase our monthly payment too much, or pay more in the long run. But because home values have skyrocketed so far up the last few years, while rates have come so far down, we've seen many scenarios where listeners today can pull out a significant chunk of money from the new value in their home, while lowering the years on the overall loan, while lowering their monthly payment, and lowering how much they ultimately pay. The key is to just look at the whole picture and be honest with yourself about your situation. If you're looking for someone to show you your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A scathing report on last year's devastating explosion at the port in Beirut.
An investigation into this disaster by the campaign group Human Rights Watch has delivered an indictment of multiple Lebanese agencies and officials. They failed to address the great danger posed by the shipment of highly explosive ammonium nitrate stored in the port. The rights activists say Lebanon's president and its prime minister were warned, but they did nothing. Efforts by Lebanese judges to investigate the blast have got nowhere. A year on, no one has been held to account.
And that's the BBC's Alan Johnston. The South Korean spy agency says North Korea is now releasing emergency military rice reserves as its food shortage worsens. Heat wave and intense drought adding to the misery in North Korea. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Some of those who lost family members in the attack on Pearl Harbor have issued an appeal to the Pentagon.
Those families are concerned the U.S. military doesn't plan to take advantage of advances in DNA technology to identify unknowns from the battleship USS Arizona. 85 individuals from the Arizona were buried as unknowns in a Honolulu cemetery after the war. Family members say the military should disinter those remains and try to determine their identities. The Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency disinterred 388 USS Oklahoma unknowns from the Honolulu cemetery 6 years ago. So far, it's identified 88% of them. John Scott reporting.
And recapping the hour's lead story, the Pentagon has been locked down after multiple gunshots were fired. Happened near a platform by the facility's Metro Light Rail station. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Get on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Grace Inviernos.
I know, I went 3, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was thinking about something last hour and I said 2. Sorry.
That's all right.
My brain was...
You know what? Everybody could use a double deuce some mornings.
Well, I'm a bad multitasker, and I was right before going on air trying to do computer stuff.
Right.
And that never turns out well. So I'm like, that doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Why is it not working the way it's supposed to?
I will say, working in relatively low local radio, I've had my chance to kind of get really good at doing more than one thing at the same time. Like I can read ahead and talk at the same, just because I'm so used to everything going wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so used to just the whole thing going just teats up that I'm going to have to talk my way through it.
And I've done that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as me trying to solve a problem while sometimes it just doesn't work right now. And that problem's not even related to the show. It was a different problem, but that's where my head was at.
Gotcha.
That's when I say things like 2 when it's 3.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sorry about that. Actually, my brain's just mush.
He was over here doing quadratic equations for fairness. Yeah.
First thing I was doing was, what are those? And then I'm just going to start.
What are? Yeah, Mike's new hobby is he's trying to become the a beautiful mind guy.
Yeah, it's very mediocre.
We're getting him a clear a clear whiteboard and some metallic markers to write with.
Maybe I should write that movie. A mediocre mind.
A mediocre, a mealy mind.
It's just some guy going, should I wear the blue shirt or the
red one? Mundanity.
You know what would be better with this popsicle? They put another stick.
The popsicle story.
It would be like Larry King's little thoughts he used to do, like in USA Today.
Like the Andy Rooney movie.
Yeah, I love fudgesicles. It's just stuff like that.
Whatever happened to simple things?
That would be
Instamatic cameras.
That would be the whole movie.
I couldn't help but notice earlier this morning, I noticed, and I pointed out to Mike off air, but okay, the Pastel Boys doing morning radio this morning.
Yeah, I donned a. It looks white in the camera there.
It does a bit.
It is a light blue,
like a sky, or almost like a. I don't want to say periwinkle because that's like purple.
Yeah, and you've got a pink, violet-y going on.
It's like a lavender.
Lavender
as well. What I'll lean into.
Yeah,
I have 2 shirts that are very similar like this. One is lavender and one is salmon.
Ooh,
salmon.
Salmon's a little more reddish pink.
Yeah, it definitely is more healthy.
Some people like to say coral. Heard that thrown in there. That's code for pink.
Right.
Whenever they hit you with salmon or coral, it's code for pink.
I got called out on that because I always thought, for some reason, I was associated coral with green.
Yeah, it's a reddish.
Yeah, and I said coral, and they were like, so the coral is pink or reddish pink. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to know.
Well, I mean, it's not a color description that really describes the color, because coral is, many colors. You go, I not that I go deep sea diving, but I've seen it
on your last excursion.
I see it on the Netflix, and when I watch it there, so I said the, and then added the in there. We didn't need to.
That's right. That's American. Over in Great Britain, they just call it Netflix.
That's right. We call it the Netflix.
The Walmart.
Not the Netflix or thy Netflix.
That's right.
Although thy Netflix.
Thy Netflix.
I watched it on thy Netflix.
Thy Netflix and thou chill.
Dost have too much credit? Sorry, that's a callback.
The king doth look the other direction.
9 credit.
I don't know if it'd be a tough sell, but
9 credit, foul credit. No worries.
You there, boy. Wouldst thou like a new ride?
We'll have it for you on the morrow.
I have gold for thine junker.
Telling you, this ad. Let's work on it.
Itself, yeah. Just gonna borrow a few tropes, that's all.
We decry a huge selection of chariots.
Our selection be the best in the kingdom.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait for that ad to come out. We better shut up because I got a lengthy interview to play here with Amanda from Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in just a few minutes. But, we spotlight some of the littles looking for bigs and basically talk all about why you should be a big. So
there you go.
That's what we're going to play for you here in just a few.
Very good.
While thy do other work. Thy will multitask.
Thou multitask.
Thou will sharpen 2 ends of the sword at one time. It is 11 minutes. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like it means something good. It's 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. Should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, oh, I wish I could tell you what I'm just reading. I can't. I wish I could, though. It would be so juicy. You'd realize how just some of the stuff I deal with every day. Let's see. Currently, 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Partly cloudy today. Expect a high of 87 with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 65 and south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy and a high of 85. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 66. East winds 5 to 10. And then after Wednesday night, the rain chances, at least for right now, are non-existent. Thursday, starting to gradually warm up, mostly sunny. High of 90, not too crazy yet on Thursday. Winds will be out of the southeast 5 to 10. And then Friday, sunny, mid-90s, 95. And then for the weekend, sunny, 98 on Saturday. Mostly sunny, 98 on Sunday. And warm Monday when you head back to it. Mostly sunny, high of 97. Hey, don't forget this weekend. We're talking about those 98s, 97. You know where it's not going to be 98, 97? Lincoln, New Mexico. It's not going to be that hot there this weekend. It'll be good, 15 degrees cooler and nice. And also an action-packed weekend because this weekend is the annual folk pageant with reenactors portraying Billy the Kid's last escape, and the notorious Lincoln County War is happening. Old Lincoln Days is happening August 6th, 7th, and 8th in beautiful Lincoln, New Mexico. If you've never been a part of this, the highlight of the weekend is the Billy the Kid pageant. They do 3 performances throughout the event. One's Friday night and Saturday night. Those are 8:30 p.m. performances. And then they'll do a Sunday afternoon matinee at 3 p.m. Get there early because with your cost of admission into the pageant, you get a free concert each day or night. If you come out for a Friday or Saturday night performances, there'll be a free concert at 7 featuring the Clay Mack Band from Deming, New Mexico. If you come out for the Sunday afternoon, not only we have the parade and the Cowboy Church and everything going on there, but you'll have a free concert at 1:30 with Susie Weber Hildman and Olivia and Dan Hildman. Tickets will begin selling at 10 a.m. each morning there at the pageant grounds, which is right there in Lincoln next to the courthouse. And admission is $10 for adults. Kids 6 through 12 are $6, and kids 5 and under are free. Plus, we'll get there during the day. You come out, and you can. They've got vendors and stuff and different activities up and down Lincoln. Of course, tour Lincoln, and you can get tickets for the National Park Service to not only tour Lincoln and all the buildings there, but you can. They also have a package deal where you can go and tour Fort Stanton too. You can add that as part of it. Highly recommend that if you've got the time to do that too. But come on out, The Last Escape of Billy the Kid, the Billy the Kid pageant, all of that happening this weekend in beautiful, beautiful Lincoln, New Mexico. Friday, August 6th, 8:30. Saturday, August 7th, 8:30, and Sunday, August 8th at 3 o'clock. Don't miss it. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a quick break, and then our interview with Amanda from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Do not go away.
Bob Reed Pest Control is committed to providing the most modern pest control management solutions for homes and businesses. Bob Reed can handle every aspect of pest control, from general insects to trees, shrubs, yard treatments, and commercial weed control. They're the only authorized Centricon termite elimination system operator in southeastern New Mexico. No job is too big or too small. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. Southeastern New Mexico's pest management professionals, 623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
Talk about local color. Your trees are supposed to be green, not yellow. Hello, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. While we've been talking about our colorful geraniums, I've been noticing a lot of yellow trees around town, particularly those globe willows. It may come as a shock to you, but those trees are supposed to be green. If you have yellow trees, come see us at Roswell Seed Company. We have a fix that's fast and easy and doesn't cost very much. Remember, it's okay to have yellow flowers, but not yellow trees.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. We are the voices of insanity in the midst of COVID insanity. We'll get you started with your week and get you rolling on making normal again.
Plus, we've got the border still a total mess, the Biden administration a disaster, the budget still coursing its way through in Congress. We'll break it all down for you and more coming up on the next Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends only 10 minutes a day speaking. Many wish Mike Winters was more like the average person. Here's Mike Winters.
That voice you hear is not me practicing my Amanda voice. That is Amanda from Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Well, how's this month been for? Are you guys? I know it seems like hopefully we're opening back up now that the masks and everything. I'm getting a little worried.
We're hoping.
I'm getting a little worried. But are we starting to see an uptick in bigs and matches being made and all that?
Yes, we are. We're
Good.
starting to see a little bit of an uptick. More people seem to be interested. So we've been fielding a couple of inquiries.
That's all good stuff.
Mostly from children, which is good.
Okay.
But we do still need bigs.
We need the bigs. Bigs desperately. I know we talked about a month ago, and we've had several littles that have been on the list for a year plus waiting for a match, and that's tough because the little doesn't understand. We don't. It's very easy for a little to take that personally, and we don't want that to happen. We don't want them to think that they're the reason why there's not a. No, it's just people and getting them there. So if you have it in your heart to say, hey, I'd love to spend some time with these kids, it's an hour a week. Really, at the end of the day, is all you're asking. Obviously, it's not set in stone and all right, you were here at 8:02 to 9. But on average, you can plan about an hour a week spending with your little, and it's nothing out of the ordinary for you. It's you just incorporating the little into your life. So if it's Saturday and hey, Saturday's our supermarket shopping day, you want to come hang out with us? All right, come do that. Or hey, Saturdays we like to go out to the park or go see a movie or go have lunch or do it. Want to come out with? That's all it is. It's not. All right, it's little day. We've got to first. We're going backpacking up then we're going to hit this, and then we don't have to do all that. You don't have to plan grandiose adventures. Sometimes it's just you maybe going to the library and chit chatting and looking at magazines and stuff, or maybe it's y'all going to have some ice cream and having a meal together, or in the virtual world here and everything else. And this was what a lot was going on. During COVID, especially, a lot of it was Zooming and that kind of stuff, and some of that can work in there too. I mean, we can incorporate all of that the important thing is that mentorship, that making those connections, and whether it's via a screen or via out in a park or in a restaurant, all of those are beneficial for the kids. So if you'd like to do it, I'd say give it a shot. It's fun. It's easy. It's not all. It's not as intimidating as people build it up in their head. I think a lot of people, and I get it, I understand it. I don't have kids, I know, and you're like, well, I don't want to, what do you feed it? You know what I mean? It's that you get that a little bit of that going on,
right? And then a lot of the children that have been waiting for bigs. I mean, they want very, very simple things.
Yeah.
Like I have this little boy who's been on our list for some time. He's 8. All he wants is he says he's looking for a big who doesn't mind playing in the mud.
Well, I'm sure we have adults that do that every day for a living.
And says that he'd like a big who could talk to him about the military or being a fireman or a policeman. This little boy really wants to. He
wants to get in a career of serving.
Yes.
Well, I think there's plenty of individuals that could spend some time with this young man, and I know generally you try to match male to male, female to female. That's not always the case, but that's generally that's route one. And but we'll make those matches. But so if there's some young men out there or old men, I don't care. that love or in between like myself, and please come out. Like you said, if you're maybe a retired firefighter or retired military or maybe currently serving in one of these roles and would love to, I'm telling you, there is no child on the planet, boy, girl, anywhere, that does not love a trip to the firehouse. I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather was a volunteer firefighter for upstate New York, and so we go visit for the summer. He'd take me every time we go to the firehouse. I got to put on the big heavy coats. I got to sit in the fire trucks and blow the horn, and they always had ice cream in the freezer, so I got ice cream every time, and kind of, I'm telling you, if I was a little and I got to do that once a month or once every couple months, I'd be pretty psyched about that. I'm just saying.
Yes. These children, so we have 2 programs with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We have a site or a school-based program.
Yeah.
So what we do is we pair somebody, either a high school big, or we pair volunteer from the community. We pair them to a specific site.
Gotcha.
Like a school site or a school program.
This is kind of more in the Big Brother Big Sister, and they're actually closer in age together, where you
could be
potentially. Yeah, generally, like you'll see a lot of high school seniors, and that this is kind of their mentorship, and I think it meets community service needs for graduation, but at the same time, it's these kids become superheroes. So if you've got an 18-year-old, a senior or going to be seniors here in the fall, and all of that are looking to be involved at the school-based program, this is a great opportunity where you're kind of a rock star for an hour because the kids, but you spend time with them after school, maybe help them with homework, maybe just playing a game, maybe just talking about your day and, talk about cool stuff that they're into. That's kind of but you do it, like once a week, I believe it is, or twice a week?
It would depend on the parameters of the program.
Gotcha.
Some meet every day a week.
Okay.
Some meet, once a week. It just depends on the particular program.
But if you're interested, please inquire, and that's a great opportunity, especially for high school seniors or maybe college freshmen that are looking to I also would say if maybe you're studying for work in healthcare or social work or anything where you're interacting with children, this might be great experience towards that career you're pursuing too.
And then we have a community-based program where we pair a community-based adult. You have to be 18 or over.
And this is more like the traditional Big Brothers Big Sisters that
Big Brothers.
We all think of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
It's the one-to-one mentoring. So what we do is we get when you sign up to be a big, of course we do a thorough background screen. You go through an interview process. The interview can take upwards of 2 hours, a little bit more sometimes.
These are lengthy, but for good reasons.
So during the interview, we're going to be asking you questions about, past interactions you might have had with children, or
experience.
Everybody has references that we call. And then what we do is we pair you based on that interview with a child that we've already interviewed that's in the system.
Yeah, part of it,
in our Big Brothers Big Sisters system, so that we pair you with like interests.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's part of this is obviously the safety and security stuff. It's actually quite expensive to make a match. On average, it's about $1,500 for a match to run for a year, and that includes your background checks and all that kind of stuff. But the other part of this long 2-hour interview process is think of it as like Match.com. We're trying to learn about you and your personality. And when Amanda or whoever's kind of going through and trying to do her matchmaking magic on them, she's going to find, like you said, a little that kind of jives with you. It's like, oh, these two like to read together. These two love to go out and do outdoor activities. I think they'd work well together, and that's why we're the long process is part of that, and it may take a month or two in that first. But it's not like you're not going to call Amanda this morning and say I want to be a big, and tomorrow you got a kid. That's not quite how it works.
It takes at least a month or more.
And then obviously they don't let you fly blind either. They give you training, they give you resources, ideas. Obviously Amanda and her staff and Bill and everybody there want to make sure that these matches thrive and last for a year minimum, but ideally for years to come, and who knows, hopefully we'd love to see it where y'all two are staying connected well into your old and gray and everything else, just keeping up to date with each other. That's not uncommon.
That is not uncommon. We've had matches who were paired in elementary school, and they're paired all the way through high school to graduation.
That's great. And I imagine when they're technically out of the program, because once they get an adult, you're kind of on your own here, but they still stay in touch. And so I'm sure when the little hits those milestones in life, like college graduation or weddings or first children or any of those huge milestones, the big is there, at least, involved, talking about it, involved with the life of the little.
The goal of the program is to make a lifelong friendship, like a lasting impact on a child.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just show them, a different way or like that different options may be available through mentoring.
It's at the end of the day, it's humans connecting.
Right. And it's just spending time with them. You don't have to do anything big or large, just spending time.
Yeah. And it's really, like you said, you guys work with them, and I know everyone's got their things that they would be nervous about doing something like this. I understand that. But it's like anything else. You get good at it. You get practice. You get to, okay, that first time you're like, I don't know, and you kind of, but trust me, you're going to probably think it was awkward. The kid's probably eating it up. You don't,
Right.
I'm sure you've told me, and I know others have told me too, that you've had all kinds of reports where the big's like, I don't know, I don't think we're connecting. And then you guys talk to the little on their own, and the little's like, man, that person's great. We go here together, we do this. But kids are kids, especially when they get a little like in that teenage years, early teens into teens. Children aren't always the best at just spewing their expressing feelings. They kind of keep it inside or tell it only if you literally pry it out of them.
And then once you're paired, you are assigned a match support specialist, and they will be in contact with you, the little, and the parent once a month, every month.
So kind of your liaison.
For the first year.
Gotcha.
So, to make sure that match is strong and has a good foundation.
Absolutely.
So if anytime you're paired with the little, if you have a question or maybe there's an issue with the little that you've never come across before, that match support specialist, they're required to have at least a minimum of a bachelor's degree.
Gotcha.
But they will walk you through that scenario. They'll give you instructions. They can give you resources for you to read on your own. They can even have a sit down or a meeting with you and the parent and the little, or whatever it might need, whatever that match needs to get it over the hurdle or to stay strong or to connect, even just building rapport with each other, or breaking the ice. Sometimes that's the most difficult thing.
Absolutely too.
They can help you do that.
Absolutely. And here's something else, and a point I want to make too. And while you're kind of talking in this vein here, the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, it's a mentorship program. It's not a surrogate parent. It's not any of those things. These children that are in the program, some of them have two parents, some have single parents, some are foster care. You get all walks of life, but you aren't the parent, and everything you're doing is with the parents' involvement and everything else. So if you're a parent and you're thinking about having a little in the program, it's not like, here's my kid, do what you want with them. No, the parents are involved in every facet, including meeting the big, and because obviously that's where the big coordination probably happens between the parent and the big. Hey, can I take so-and-so with me to the park today or whatever. So that relationship's important, and so that's all part of it too. It's not you coming in and taking over as the guardian here.
Right.
You're here
in fact, we train our bigs quite extensively before they're paired. That they're not. We don't expect them to be a parent or a disciplinarian or Santa Claus,
sugar daddy or sugar mama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't expect you to be part of the program. We try to make it as free to all of our participants as possible.
Yeah.
So we will recommend, or I guess the gist of the program is to spend quality time with each other.
Not buy the kids love or
buying. Right.
Yeah. It's about the interaction. More is happening while you two are sitting there eating an ice cream cone in the park than whether you decided we're going to the Grand Canyon and we're going to rappel down. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying you can't do those things sometimes. Hey, if you're going to a camping weekend, those are awesome. But the real work happens in those moments where you're telling stories about when I was a kid, we used to do that, and those relationships and those connections, and it's wisdom. You're imparting your wisdom on the kids because let's face it, we're all dumb when we're young. We're dumb. We think we know it all, but we don't. We just and when we get teenagers, we really know it all. But as we get older, we're like, oh yeah, remember that stuff my parents were telling me? It starts rubbing in. Big Brothers and Big Sisters is kind of like a conduit for that, or not kinda, it is, but it also gives a different place for that, where maybe those things don't register from the parent side. The parents, but sometimes the kids, you understand that. And then when you're going in and saying the same, reinforcing that sometimes is the click home that they need. And again, it's not you being a disciplinarian, it's you just saying, hey, comparing your own life experiences and giving them, hey, I remember I didn't do this and this is what happened to me, so think about that. That's the kind of stuff you're imparting in between these little fun get-togethers and activities, and that is really Big Brothers Big Sisters at the core, I think. Anyway,
it's all about quality time. You're spending quality time with each other, whether you're just talking or driving around or walking around our new zoo. Just spending time with each other.
And I'm guessing if you're a little apprehensive there, maybe get your feet wet with the after school program. Start there first. And do that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to have an after-school program in Roswell this year.
Okay.
We have to kind of wait and see how the school.
Gotcha.
How school pans out.
But if we do,
school's about to start, but I think each school district is under its own different.
And then with the masks and everything else,
situation.
But hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. But if you really want to dip a toe, please call, ask how you can do more ways to get in some. We really, unfortunately, big shortage is always. I've never had Amanda or Bill or anybody come in here and say, we got enough bigs this time. We're good. We
always need bigs. Always.
I know. The general MO is we need males more than women, but right now
we need women as well.
Everybody.
The schools are about to open, and that's where the majority of our child referrals come from.
Okay.
Last year with school closed, we didn't have a lot of child referrals.
Sure.
So we were, we whittled down our waiting list as small as we could with the matches that were in the queue. But right now we need bigs to pair off those last remaining bit of littles.
So come out and there's different options too. I mean, it's not unheard of that couples mentor together. I mean, there's if you have an interest, come talk to Amanda or anybody at Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and let's see how we can make that happen.
If you give us a call, we'll have someone call you back. We can do a small orientation over the phone. You can ask us any questions that you'd like.
Yeah.
And we could see about getting you started in the enrollment process.
Yeah. I know it's not the time of year and COVID and all that, but is there been talks about trying to think about Bowl for Kids' Sake kind of stuff again?
We want to have Bowl for Kids' Sake, yes. We're trying to get a hold of the bowling alley now, I believe.
So maybe next April we're talking, or even sooner than that.
We usually have ours in May, I want to say.
It's in May, okay. Yeah. That's right. Eddy County's like in March or April.
Eddy County's in February.
February, okay. I knew they were in the spring there, but I think the last one was like April 26th, if I remember right, because my birthday's the 25th, and I remember it was right around my birthday the last time, or if it wasn't the last one, it was some time before, but it's right around there that time of year, but maybe.
Yes, definitely.
I'm wood knocking here, maybe, and of course, technically we haven't ended the last one.
Technically, we have not. That is correct.
If you signed up as a team,
you could still
please keep raising money. I promise we'll let you bowl sometime. Maybe being 2027, but you'll get to bowl sometime. And,
please don't say that. I think we're all tired of.
I know, but please, because let's face it. As I mentioned earlier, it costs about $1,500 to make one of these matches, and the Bowl for Kids' Sake fundraising event was the major fundraising event for Big Brother. I mean, yes, United Way. There's other sources of revenue that's very grateful and beneficial. But as far as keeping the lights on, the doors open, the matches happening, the Bowl for Kids' Sake event was the fundraiser to make sure those things happen every year.
Fundraiser.
Yeah. So.
And actually, I have a little girl to tell you about.
Yeah,
she's on our waiting list. Would you like to?
Yeah.
I have a 9-year-old little girl. Her name's Andrea. She would like a big who loves fashion.
Okay.
But also likes to play outside.
Okay.
And who she can do cheer activities with.
All right. Sounds like some dancing and stuff involved there, maybe.
Yeah, she's unfortunately been bullied a little bit.
Okay. A little shy.
And she would like a big sister so they can talk about how that made her feel and ways that she could stand up to bullies.
Cool.
So
sounds like what she needs is a girls' night dancing and makeover fashion and boost some confidence there. And
she likes cheer, tumbling, playing outside, animals, and jumping on trampolines.
Nice.
She wants to be a doctor or a veterinarian when she grows up.
Well, I think there's a lot of folks around town that could probably incorporate, even from the cheer side, the vet side, the healthcare side, any of those folks. The fashion side, looking for a little shopping partner there. Sounds like you got one.
Even if it's just window shopping, fashion is fun.
As a husband, I would think, hey, shopping partner for my wife, and I don't have to go. Score. I'm not saying you can't use selfish needs to help others. I'm just saying if that lures you in, so be it. Come on in. But that's cruel. So there we go. Anybody out there that likes fashion and cheer and shopping? Would like to spread that knowledge on to some young lady? Yeah, I'm sure there's nobody out there that won't like to do that. Is there any more profiles we want to spotlight here, or
I had one more.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a little girl. Her name's Amber. She's 7. We have a lot of little ones on our list. She would like a big with a good sense of humor and a big heart.
Okay.
She wants her big to be a good cook because she likes to try new foods.
All right.
So she wants to.
Ooh, so if you need a guinea pig.
I think I'd like a big sister who would cook.
Well, it's like
so I could try new foods.
I hear experimental, but they're kids. Oh, I'm sorry.
She enjoys her dog, going outside to eat, or going out to eat, cooking, and traveling.
Nice.
She wants a big sister who doesn't mind. Another little girl wants a big sister who doesn't mind watching Frozen.
Okay, so if you haven't got enough of Frozen.
Cooking and Frozen.
Well, I'm thinking the cooking, yeah. Frozen, I think there's some people that thing's run its course. Anyway, I would love to see, because I love that she loves to experiment with foods, because kids generally are picky eaters, just in general. So to see a child that would want to broaden horizons and do that, you might have your next Chef Gordon Ramsay going on right here or something. You're opening her up to food experiences and things. The next thing you know, she might be having the passion where she's on the Food Network someday doing her own cooking shows.
You could inspire a chef.
Or maybe she likes to travel. Maybe she's on the Travel Channel going to these countries like a la Anthony Bourdain, where you go and experience it. Maybe you're setting the table for that for her. So that's great. Cool. So again, this is what we're talking about. The potential's there, and we got these great kids that want to be mentored and to have fun and do these things, and all we're waiting for is you guys to get out there and get involved. Pick up. I always tell people, pick up if you got the time. Pick a passion. I don't care if it's dogs, and we'll pick something. But if you want something with kids, Big Brothers Big Sisters, that's a great organization, because you get everything you're doing is real work. It's I'm not trying to sound. This might sound wrong, but it's easy to get involved in organizations and you just feel like you spend every time fundraising and all that stuff, and that's very important and everything. But if you want something that's like hands-on, hands in the dirt type mentorship or
the
a
little
difference,
dirt.
Yeah, that's this Big Brothers and Big Sisters, because you're directly impacting. You're having a child that you have a one-on-one connection with, and it's a powerful thing that you can really mold and help give that child all the tools they need to go to that next level of life and go on to be productive adults.
And it could be something very simple, like you said, hands in the dirt. We were planting a garden, something very simple. It was just a couple of herbs and some bell pepper plants and a tomato.
Yeah.
And the little kids next door just kept watching and watching and watching. And my daughter and her boyfriend called them over, and they let them, like, dig in the dirt, and they planted a little seed.
That's
and
cool.
They,
I think
just
that's cool.
Just impacted it. Man, they come and they watch us. So we've decided whenever we get pumpkins or bell peppers or anything, we're going to let them come pick them.
Yeah, that'd
and
be fun.
I mean, just a child's interest could be sparked by the tiniest little thing that you do, or tiny little thing, a passion that you have that you share.
Well, that's the part when we become adults. We lose our ability to remember what it's like to experience something as a first time as a child, and there's a whole wonderment there. And I know it's just part of life, and it's our thing. But for you to give that opportunity to give that to a kid, I mean, think about the things that you personally are passionate about, and how they were exposed to you, and how you came across them. You're giving that to another child. So if you have a love for hunting or fishing, and you're like, you remember it because your brother, your dad, or somebody took you out and did all that, and you remember those memories. You're creating that for somebody else. You're doing that, whether it's just do things you like now through fishing or crafting or shopping or whatever it is that y'all have that connection at. That's where the careers, the ideas. These are kids that, and always, everyone asks kids, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And they always say, This is those years that you're formulating that with them.
Mm-hmm.
You expose them to something you're into, and next thing you know, they're pursuing careers in whatever that is, fashion or construction, or like I said, gardening. Maybe they're next thing you know, they're going to be farmers and ranchers, or some kind of scientist in horticulture or something. It's all started because y'all decided to do some backyard planting together, or I've heard too. Some littles and bigs, like Artesia got their community garden.
Yes,
there's some matches that have set up their little gardens out there, and they're doing them together.
And the garden in Artesia is thriving.
Yeah,
so
I've heard good things.
We went by and saw it like a few weeks ago. When they first took me over, things were planted, but they weren't growing.
Yeah,
yet.
it didn't look like they were just dirt seeds.
Yeah, now they're like in the harvest stage. Some of those plants are harvesting. Yeah, so it's really nice.
Coming soon to the farmer's market near you. Some big little gardens coming your way. That might be cool, is get a group of them and then set up a booth at the farmer's market or something. If they get enough produce, that might be a fun little, and then they can pay for their next adventure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or raise money for Bowl for Kids' sake. I mean, let's turn it into money raised for Bowl for Kids' sake. That'd be a good thing. But I just saw the time. If folks want to learn more, hopefully we got the wheels turning there and got you saying, yeah, this might be some. You can go to the website anytime. You can go right now. You can this is probably the easier of the two, just Google Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Southeast New Mexico, or Roswell, or Chaves County. But if you want to go to the website direct, it's www.bbbsenm.org. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico. So, or you can call. It's 2227. I remember.
Yes, 575-627-2227.
It's BBBS. That's how I remember it. I can't remember the rest of it, but I remembered that part. And Facebook as well. Look for Big Brother. Put in Southeast New Mexico. Otherwise, you're going to get all the Big Brothers, which is great if you kind of want to read and stuff. But if you want to learn about local here, that'll get you there. And of course, talk to people. That's another great. Talk to other bigs, other matches if you know about them. It is a family community. The bigs and everything do, have bigs and little get-togethers and things that it is a community of people. Hey, what do you guys do? And we do this, and so there's that too. There's your like Pinterest side of Big Brother and Big Sister, and so it really is a cool thing. So go to the website, call, or I guess still in COVID world, probably not just show up in that office. Maybe.
Oh no, the office is open.
Okay, so you can come in, no problem. It's there on 2nd Street in the executive. What's that building called that you guys are in? It's there on you go down 2nd. Featherstone building. It's there on your right as you're going down 2nd, like you're heading towards Rio. So
I'm not sure if they changed the name, but
look for the big yellow monster in the parking lot. Is it gone too?
No,
it's gone.
No longer have the big yellow monster.
It's gone.
Yes.
Well, dang, I can't use it as a landmark anymore. The big
it is
yellow
no longer in our parking lot.
So, is there a replacement? No. Oh, you guys are hoofing it, huh? All right, they need a big yellow monster too. If you can help out there, they retired the Aztec. which was bright yellow and big. You couldn't miss it. That's why it was a great landmark. So we need a new big. Are you going to? Well, now that you guys have that green, is kind of the
our colors have changed.
And then that green, so maybe you need to go
like a lime green.
Yeah, maybe you need to go, and it's got the green, but it's got the 70s cool the
big bee.
Yeah, the bees and everything's very a la 70s.
I thought it was retro myself when they unveiled it.
I when I see that, I think of like Houston Astro uniforms from the 70s with the A's and the way the letters that 3 or 4 stripe writing, the way it's like that. That's very reminiscent of that to me. Or seeing it on like walls at schools, like they used to paint but it'd always be those mustard yellows or oranges, and it'd be those striped tones, and then they would write in the lettering in that multi. That was very 70s, but it's kind of that. It's kind of it's pretty cool. But anyway, I think I could see the car.
No more yellow cars.
Scooby-Doo mobile. You need a van like the Scooby-Doo mobile, painted that green, put the 70s Big Brothers, big stuff.
That might work.
Maybe a 70s van with the moon window in the side, shag carpet. Well, kids and shag, that's not. Well, we'll work on this. We need some. We get a big van. Wait a minute. I just saw there might be problems here. We'll work on this. Thank you, Amanda. Maybe let Bill work on the marketing. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. You have a nice day.
Thanks, you too.
New adventures for many children, new friends to meet, new teachers to get used to, new academic subjects to learn and master, and for some, new school buildings to figure out. With all of this facing local kids at school as it begins anew August 4th, children may not be paying as much attention as they should to safely getting to and from school. So it's important for parents and other adults to talk to their kids about staying safe as they make the regular trip to school and home again. The Roswell Police Department is asking parents and guardians to remind their kids to look both directions before crossing a street. Try to use a crosswalk and never head into the street from between parked vehicles or from in front of or behind a parked vehicle. It can often be difficult for a driver to have enough time to stop if a previously unseen child darts out suddenly. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The Biden team is now demanding news outlets stop the irresponsible Delta coverage being done for ratings. Nobody's doing this for ratings. We're trying to inform the public. I've tried to be responsible all throughout this. I was one of the first outspoken conservatives when saying, you know what, the mask really doesn't bother me. If we can get life back to normal, it's not going to be in perpetuity. I guess maybe I might have been wrong on that part, because it seems like they're in love with these masks. If you get vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Now you need a mask. 1 mask, 2 masks, no masks. Masks, annually. I mean, it's just horrible. But if you look, for instance, this Wuhan lab report is chilling. Yeah, it might be the greatest cover-up in human history, Congressman McCall is saying.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I, live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of moist air left over, and that could bring us a shower or thunderstorm around the Roswell area today with a mix of sun and clouds in mid-80s. For Carlsbad and Artesia, will be in the mid-80s, but rain chances look a lot lower. It should be mostly sunny. For tonight, an isolated thunderstorm possible with mid to upper 60s, and then isolated afternoon storms tomorrow and upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. After opening higher this morning, Wall Street stocks had turned mixed by mid-morning. Coronavirus concerns tempering the market's enthusiasm. PepsiCo has struck a deal with private equity firm PAI Partners to sell the Tropicana, Naked, and other juice brands in North America. The agreement will net PepsiCo proceeds of approximately $3.3 billion. Marriott International reports second quarter net income of $422 million after reporting a loss in the same period a year ago. The results topped Wall Street expectations. BMW reporting a $5.7 billion net profit in the second quarter, rounding out a strong earnings season for Germany's three big automakers as global auto markets continue to recover from the pandemic, especially when it comes to luxury vehicles. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers same-day or next-day appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 625-3222 today.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show. We are the voices of insanity in the midst of COVID insanity. We'll get you started with your week and get you rolling on making normal again.
Plus, we've got the border still a total mess, the Biden administration a disaster, the budget still coursing its way through in Congress. We'll break it all down for you and more coming up on the next Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show.
Travis and Sexton are on Roswell's Talk FM weekdays at 10. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:55. Got a couple minutes here before we wrap up today's show. Of course, if you missed any part of it, you can always go back and check it out at your leisure. One of two ways to do that. You can either log on to ksvptv.com and click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, or and there you'll find not only today's show, but all of our shows available on video from the past. Then you can also go to our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall and find them there. Just scroll down, and they'll actually, Tanner, after the show, will separate the interviews from the whole show and make them available by themselves if you'd like to just check out one particular interview there. We had Robert Sherman join us in the 7 o'clock hour from the Walker Aviation Museum, and we discussed some of the stuff they've got going on. Of course, they're getting ready to stem it up. They've got some money from Excel, and they've got some simulators they're getting, and they're in the middle of cleanup from the flood still down there. But they're always looking for new members and things too. So go to wafbmuseum.org if you'd like to be a member, if you'd like to serve on the board, if you'd like to volunteer, be a part of it, or if you'd like to donate, of course, too. You'll find links there. Then in the 8 o'clock hour, we had Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico join us on the phone, and we talked about their upcoming book fair on September 4th. We talked about the big fundraising event, newly released. We're having once again, a Peppers drive-through dinner celebration. It'll be September 30th, so Thursday night fajita dinner with ceviche for the appetizers and beef and chicken fajitas and the trimmings, of course, your guac and pico and all that stuff, and calabacitas and black beans and all that stuff. So it's a good meal. But we talked all about that. And then, of course, this past hour, we just replayed our interview we had with Amanda from Big Brothers Big Sisters. She joined us last Wednesday and spotlighted a few of the littles that are waiting for bigs right now, and talked all about becoming a big. And it's pretty easy to do. It's a great thing, great way to help out. So anyway, if you missed any of those interviews, you'll find them at your leisure, ksvptv.com, or in the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall there. Couple things I want to remind you. Today is the last day if you want to donate school supplies to the Roswell Police Department. Their back-to-school supply drive is wrapping up today. Today, August 3rd, is the last day they're collecting school supplies. So if you've got school supplies you'd like to drop them off at the police department today, 128 West 2nd. If you'd like to do some shopping and, pick up some items and drop them off today, here's a list of things they need. They include your hand sanitizer, facial tissues, markers, rulers, backpacks, colored pencils, crayons, scissors, large erasers, glue sticks, number 2 pencils, red, blue, and black pens, washable markers, composition notebooks, pencil top erasers, plastic folders with the pockets and the brads, notebook paper, the wide ruled, and spiral notebooks, also wide ruled. So drop them off. Today is the last day, again, that the Roswell Police Department is collecting items for their back-to-school drive. So get those items in promptly. Also, don't forget, this weekend is the Chaves County Health Council's Health Expo 2021. 3 different locations, sort of. It's a virtual hybrid event. So they're doing things online at their Chaves County Health Council's Facebook and YouTube pages. They also have drive-through and pickup events going on at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn and also at the Chaves County Admin Building, the 2 green domes here in town. They'll have events. It's this Saturday from 9 till, I believe, about noon or so. But get out there. They'll have health information, events, things like that. And again, it'll be the 3rd annual Chaves County Health Expo happening this upcoming Saturday, August 7th from 9 a.m. to noon. Again, log on to the Chaves County Health Council's Facebook page and YouTube channel for events and videos and things. And then in-person drive-through booths will be held at the 2 domes there, the Chaves County Courthouse lawn, and again, also at the Chaves County Admin Building this Saturday. Let's see. I think that's about it for us in the show today. There was actually a show, and I only got a chance to talk about it, but I'm kind of into it. If you got HBO Max, if you get that app, and of course they're showing the movies and whatever the latest, but they got a comedy series called Hacks, which is pretty good. If you like Hollywood sitcom shows about Hollywood sitcoms, about writing and the pull back the curtain of making films and TV in Hollywood, that's what it's about. It's a stand-up comic who's like a Joan Rivers type, and it's following her. It's kind of interesting, but the first season's up. I've watched all but the last episode now, and it's pretty good. So if you're needing something to watch this weekend, give it a check out. All right, we got to go. Have an awesome day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell